This is way up. Good morning, lady. Good morning. Oh, this mic. It changes its settings. Good morning, ooh. Let's get rid of that. Oh my goodness. It is good to be amongst you good people today. We're starting already with the stupid alerts. So, as always, as I don't even know what we're gonna call ourselves. Everyone on all these sites, their followers have a name. Like I follow this guy, Bruce Green, on Twitch, and his followers are called the Gooses because it's a story behind it, right? So he comes to the chat, hey Gooses, let's get started, right? They got like, and if other people in the chat refer to each other as Gooses, Twitch is a giant. This is a smaller thing, so maybe in 10 years we'll. But the idea of it is, I still have to do this stuff. The idea of it is funny, and I was like, wow, what would we call ourselves? Ooh, coffee, guys. I just made it in here with this coffee. This needs more milk. I'll be right back. All right. What are we doing today? So, all the doors are open, all the windows are open. It was a really good night last night. It was about, I want to say, oh, let's move here so we don't get coffee stains on it. I want to say it was like a balmy 78 degrees, which was pretty freaking sweet. The thing about a natural 75 degrees and an air conditioning 75 degrees, it's not the same, man. Like with actual 70 degree days, 75 degree nights rather, you get like nice breezes, versus just a steady state of, yeah. Mm-hmm. See, that's good coffee. See, I'm beginning to regret firing the first coffee guy and replace him with the new coffee guy, because the new coffee guy is worse than the first coffee guy. We may reach out next week and rehire the first coffee guy, bring him back in here, because I don't think we could. And if we do, we won't complain about his coffee anymore. And we'll find something else to do with the new coffee guy. Maybe he'll be the janitor, because this place needs cleaning up. Does our giant outfit need a janitor? Yeah, I think all outfits need a janitor. You got to get a janitor up in there to keep the place spotless. Let's check all the streams. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, good Lord, this every time, that's fine. We're not even gonna, actually, while we're here getting warmed up, we can do this. Fa la 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 la. Mute that. Copy this link. Put this back over here. Did we lose any bandwidth yet? I'm pretty sure we will, because it's been consistent. Maybe it's only with there you go. I think it might only be with YouTube, quite frankly. I don't know why. All right. That's good. All right. And while we're here, we're off of YouTube. Maybe that'll clear up. While we're here, we'll also drop in a Sunday Moron. Easy like Sunday Moron. Get it? All right. All right. So what is today's? Obviously, here's the thing about being trying to be clever twice a day with these titles. Um, they don't work out so well. Let's copy this. 20 minutes or so daily guitar practice day, 30 a.m. Easy like Sunday Moron. Okay, I like it. So what is this afternoon going to be? Maybe we just keep the title exactly like and just add a part two, because sometimes this is what happens when we're not awesome, right? And I'm trying to be awesome. I'm not exactly awesome just yet. Later today, 4 p.m. Sunday morning, p.m. Maybe that's the only thing we'll change. Easy like Sunday. Moron, but that would be calling you moron. How about easy like Sunday morning, and then easy like Sunday morning, and again. All right, that's it. There you go, guys. I hate to tell you, but the people on TV write these with a whole bunch of people, and I'm writing them by myself. So they're witty and they're clever and they're charming. Did that hit? Yeah, there it is. Come on. This channel wouldn't even, there it goes. This channel wouldn't even let me in today. So, okay, we got the PM show up. We just did that. We're not crazy. And we have all the proper streamers properly streaming. So let's close all this stuff and begin our freaking musical day. Let's open this. Let's take this out by itself. Okay. Nothing's ever as you think it is the first time. All right, we'll put this here, Justin. What is going on today? We want to move this here. All right, and then we want this to be here, low, and we want to keep this one over here. All right, excellent. Oh, good Lord. I am so bad at this sometimes. All right, what we need to do is shrink this down and shrink it down, not totally collapse it so we can find it. All right, here we are. Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. Now we got a loose thing. All right. So what are we doing today? Well, how much time did we waste? Hey, only 8 minutes. We've been streaming for 8 minutes, and I want to say 4 minutes late. Not because of anything I did, streamers, but sometimes, like I sat here trying to get, and then I had to cut my camera off and cut my camera back on, and then, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Remember, this counts as your Sunday service. It counts as your synagogue, and ooh, I'll put this here, and as your synagogue and mosque and Sunday service, and it lasts all week. So you have to come back here next week to re-up. What is going on with the camera? I'm so see, because on my camera it's fine. So let's see if we can reset the camera. Maybe we should cut off the camera. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, one of the longest intervals with this, it was an hour, not an hour, it was 20 minutes. Let's cut it off now. Let's see what happens if we cut it off for 30 seconds and see if it'll kick back in. The birds are birding. Nope, the trees are treeing. And This beta is just BS. So we'll see what happens. Do we need any more milk? Mhm. So, as good citizens of the cosmos, which we are, we're better than just good citizens of our city or nation or state. Almost a nation state. I think we're a little too big to be a nation state. Nobody's got a job. Everybody just smiling and grinning. This whole thing is incredibly racially unfair. It is. The people in charge care more about shoving stuff in their pockets than fixing all the flooding and the fires and the social unfairness. And the shit is those people who are now in charge were the people protesting in the 60s and the 20s and 30s. See, just because you say you're one thing in your 20s does not mean you'll be the same thing as you get older, right? All these people coming in from foreign places can't wait to get here, then complaining about the place. Every time I see an article on guns, I look at who wrote it. Yeah, something. Look, listen. You can't both say what the founders do with these sacred things, right? And not change anything, i.e., the the Constitution, right? But they're always changing the Constitution. They change a ton of shit in the Constitution already. Stop acting like it's a sacred document, and people are just using it to gain power on both sides. Keep it the way it is, so I don't lose my stuff. Or oh, let's change it so I can gain a bunch of stuff. It's never really about how they interpret it for any of us. It never really is. Damon Dash is soon sued by Jay-Z and Rockefeller Records because that's what money does to friendships who grew up together in the streets, right? First of all, they both come across as just sellout assholes, quite frankly. But this is the only thing that Hollywood really seems to want. Body positivity. You know what? First of all, here's the thing about body positivity. If you're hot and sexy, and you would perhaps you got to get this streamer right. If you're hot and sexy, body positivity means you know being out half naked, right? But it also means if you're sort of you know need to look at yourself and go, maybe I should do X, Y, Z about myself. Uh, the society tells you, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. And that's not the way it works. Right? Society. There are some things that have always been in society, and now hipster Hollywood is trying to change those things. Right? So some of them is body positivity. Ugly is a word because ugly is a word. So now they're just trying to pave over it with this 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 word game of you can't criticize anything that we don't endorse. So there's a ton of words they give you to attack people, right? And there's a ton of words they give you to let their minions be. You should feel good about yourself no matter how you feel about yourself. Body positivity. You know what? There's a lot of vanity in this fucking society. I see a ton of tattoos, on a ton of like interesting hair types. It's all vanity, right? All these nails, it's all vanity. But it's not. It's not. What's the word? It's there is a healthy vanity, right? These guys who are working out in the gym 6 hours a day, that's vain. The Rock is vain, right? Mark Wahlberg is vain, 6 a.m. It's healthy, yeah, okay, but yeah, it's vain. It's vanity as well. Other people want to be vain, but they don't want to do the work, so they just get haircuts and freaking tattoos, and they call themselves right? So I have seen some tattoos on some specimens, and I was just kind of like, how much ink did they use on you? I hate to be mean about it, but you have to monitor yourself. Look, especially in my family, diabetes and sugar diabetes and high blood pressure runs in my family, right? Uh, I've never eaten a lot of candy because of that. Then I went to a candy fit and I got my first cavity when I was like 18, 19. Um, but I'm sure in other places that I try and shore up. I think people are just happy to be like, oh well, I'm 10 pounds overweight. Oh well. Oh, now I'm 20 pounds overweight. Oh well. Now I'm 50 pounds. Oh well. Now I gotta lose another person. Oh well. And then the doctor goes, you gotta lose another person or you're gonna die. And we're gonna take off your leg. And now it's all of a sudden, body want to let me tell my stories about my weight battle. Fuck you, weight battle. Your weight battle is like a year old, if anything, because someone told you to. And that's it. So all these things and people with their, oh, I have this. It's always like I told you, they're always trying to wring you out for emotional content. And again, don't be hateful of heavy people. Some people are too thin. Nobody likes them because they look emaciated. It's. I hate to say it, it's a thing, but it's not a common thing. Well, what they get behind is the common stupidness in this society, the common laziness in this society, the common mean spiritedness in this. As long as because no one in any of these groups ever risk anything, right? So they're not going to go out on a limb to say you should lose weight or you should gain weight or you're fine. Either three or those three stances, yay, nay, or maybe. They won't take a chance until they need to know which way the wind is blowing. And then they can start picking out the enemies. Oh, how dare he said that about heavy people and heavy body. Everybody's always got a, I was a heavy kid and it was hard. Some of you just fucking ate. That's it. It's not always a sad struggle. Some just gave into it, right? It's like alcoholism. It's like these guys talking about getting their voting rights back. I got messed up with this commercial here. I got messed up with drugs as a kid, and I went to jail. Because what he say? It was easy. Anybody could get messed up. I instantly said, no. I was one of those kids. I didn't get messed up with drugs. It's like all these rappers talking about, well, I rap this violent stuff because that's the communities I'm from. What? No, I'm from that community too. What the fuck are you talking about? The community is shit because you were in it selling drugs. That is why the community is shit. Now you manage to take that drug money, make it record label money, and now you're sitting here going, well, I'm not the victim. The environment is hard. As you sing and dance for the people who made the environment hard. What are you talking? What? No one gets to tell you that you're full of shit? That's crazy. I don't know what is going on with this streamer. Why is this picture so freaking muddy? We've got nothing doing anything, and the picture is still a mess. It makes me mad because, like I said, the last time it was like this for 20 minutes. It's already been like this for 10. We complained about it 8 minutes ago. I don't know. You think we should try that camera trick again? Just cut it off. Oh, excuse me. Let's see if we can give the thing 30 seconds to readjust itself. I don't want to give it 30 seconds. It's supposed to be video. It's not radio. It's video. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm trying not to come down too hard on this, but some stuff just shouldn't work. Don't tell me you're a great mechanic if the car that you service is in here every week for the same problem. And it's not a small issue, right? It's not like you. No, excuse me. Ugh. It's not like you fix a car and the radio doesn't work, and that's annoying. But you can get to work and do your thing, right? Nah, this is something totally different. This is a major thing. This is video. In a streaming service, your first mission is video. So back to that same scenario. If you're a mechanic and you're supposed to fix shit every day, every time I pull out of here, this is your stutter sputter step start thing. That it's not immobile on the side of the road, but getting from point A to point B with giant kicks of smoke kicking out, right? And then the car herky jerking as you drive it. This is what this video shit is. right? And then sometimes it's beautiful. It works like a dream. But then there's this shit, which just makes me mad. So yeah, I don't really even know how. Look, I'm saying 1,000 days, but I couldn't get in this morning. I had issues this week. You know, this 1,000 days may take place exclusively on fucking Twitch if this shit keeps up. Because I'm not trying to give myself agita about my dream. And I realize I have to fight through some stuff. This is what dreams are for. But you know, this is a fight that I don't really need to be fighting. This is like, you know, this isn't them putting a train system through your living room. This is just stupid. Right? I'll fight that fight. This is just, I mean, the Chiron is clear running across a video, but the video is butt. Oh my God. Woo-wee. So yesterday I fed the birds. Excuse me. It was pretty freaking good. I gave them those blueberry muffins that I was beginning to turn. And I say they enjoyed it. Well, I feed the birds, right? I wouldn't feed the birds where they can nest or roost and like poop all over your car or anything. But there's a tree outside my house. They nest there anyway. My roof doesn't have an eave for them to sit on. It does have a balcony, but birds never sit on your balcony because they know people live there. That New York City pigeons are daring just because there are so many people, and you're so used to so many people being within 3 feet of you, so they get quick to hopping away from you. But yeah, they can be within 8 to 10 feet of you. Here, I don't get within 30 feet of birds. They're like, oh, 30 feet, that's close enough. So you realize the different like the squirrels are different here too. One, they seem smaller for some reason, but here you don't see any pigeons. You know why? Everything here is bigger than a pigeon will kill them outright. The only thing that does pigeons in New York City are hawks, right? Here there are hawks. Other things that push them off, there are freaking vultures here. Ravens and crows are just as big as pigeons, just as aggressive. They eat pigeons' babies. So we don't have ravens or crows in New York. I don't know why. But it is what it is. It's the bird world. Did it rain last night? This beautiful flat rain. Oh, it was beautiful. Come on, Haps, get your shit together. I wonder what happened if we're going to turn this on again. Seconds of nothing. All right. Yeah, nothing. It's trying, but this should have happened faster. I don't know what it is or how to fix it, quite frankly. I wonder if we go into settings if we can do anything. But what would you be able to do in settings? Nothing. See, now my whole mind is on this image, and it's been on this image now since 8 minutes in, and we're 24 minutes in. So we're looking at what 16 minutes of me complaining about on our Sunday show, no less. All right. Well, look, we know what the drama is with the show, right? We know that we are here for discipline and music and the occasional libation, which we've slowed that down to a crawl. I wish I hadn't. But I want to drink on the late shows. And by late, I mean after like 9. And I got to tell you, man, after the yesterday's show, which only went 2 hours, I was done. I was tired. Let's look at that's not it. Let's look at my channel. All right, so yesterday, yeah, 2 hours and 30 minutes, not a lot. Day before that, 4 hours, which is fine. That's a that the 2 hours, 2.5 hours was a PM session. The PM session normally goes 3 hours, 4 hours, right? 4.5 hours. That was easily 2 hours shorter than normal. Yeah, we gotta fix our shizzy. We do. What is our shizzy? Our shizzy is what we're talking about, and it needs to be fixed. How do we fix our shizzy? Well, that's easy. First, we gather up all our shizzy into the same location. Get all your shizzy, get your shizzy together, right? Once your shizzy is all together, your shizzy is gathered. Then it turns into fucks, right? So it depends. Do you have fucks to give, or are you out of fucks to give? It depends. Because whenever you need somebody comes by and you don't have no fucks to give, it's always empty, right? So if you do have fucks to give, it's always in a bag near the door, and you can give those out freely, like candy on Halloween. Just give them. But fuck what? Fuck you. Fuck you. Here's some fuck. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck you. Fuck this. Here's a whole bunch of fucks. What do you want me to do? Yeah, I don't. Fuck that. I don't have any. I don't give a fuck about that. I got no fucks over here to give. So fucks come in two varieties generally. Some you give them and you give them freely. Fuck all y'all. Everybody gets 3, and others there's no fucks to give anybody. I got no fucks to give. I don't care. I got no, look, I said I got no fucks to give. I do not give a fuck. I don't give any. Not one. All my fucks are gone. Excuse my language, but that's the way the game is played in the modern realm. Look at Haps, this beautiful restreamer. I mean, I don't think they have any fucks to give about their video, but you know, one day somebody's gonna fix the video, and then I'm gonna complain about it. Because they've got no fucks to give about fixing it. I got nothing but fucks to give them about it. So that's where we are. Biden to meet with Iraqi prime minister. Biden don't even leave the White House, that doddering old man. I think they put him in a suit for 2 hours a day just to get pictures of him when he's lucid. And then they put him back into his bed. Meanwhile, his wife is running the country. A community college professor is running the country. I don't have any fucking strength to believe in this place anymore. I think that's what happens. They just give their friends jobs. People are still talking about masks. Here's the thing. Come on. I can see it's almost trying. Here's the thing. How can I say this? Not all of the COVID cases all over the country are rising. That's a fact, right? I don't think I can get in trouble for saying that. You can't even. I'm back to this video thing for a second. You can't even hop out of this video and restart it without. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I'm not gonna. I can't do this every morning, especially if I'm about 7 a.m. doing this shit twice a day. They should be better. Yeah, I may move this to freaking Twitch or YouTube because this don't make any sense to me. I guess they're over here building nests. So outside my door are these not pine trees, like needle trees. They drop these needles. I guess it is a pine tree. Oh, those pine needles. Yeah, so it's a pine tree. And they gather on these not quite flat roofs. All roofs are tilted so the rainwater can run off. We all know that, right? and some are tilted more than others. So this one's just tilted a little at a small grade, and it sort of sits there until the heavy rain comes and washes it into the gutters. And they go into the gutters, they pick out all the nicely wet and nicely soft, and they build their nest with it. Oh my God, look at this image. It's a half an hour now. It's 25 minutes of this image, right? And you can go to the other videos which I use on this and see how clear it is, right? For the most part. Yeah, I don't even know what to make of this thing. And I'm not on my cell phone, which is, look, I would get it if I was at a distant location. I'm not at a distant location. My router is right there. I could knock on it from here. I could throw this at it. You can hear it, but apparently, and look at it now. Look at the video now. It really is outrageous that this is what happens. This streamer had better be free. I'm telling you. Fucking charge people for this. No wonder it's fucking free. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk shit about Haps and the government and have our coffee. And this one might be a short one because my good Sunday mood is already sliding out of here. I gotta find out who runs this thing so I can call them out by name when shit goes bad. Because I know it's not a trillion people on this platform. So you should be able to hear me and then get back to me. Because this is a problem for someone who's trying to be here for like 1,000 days every day for multiple hours a day. You should give a fuck, right? I'm not saying I'm the star of this thing, but you should at least be curious as to what I'm doing in this this quadrant of the platform with my talent. Because it's not one way. Not backed by the LA County Sheriff will not enforce new mask mandates, quote unquote, not backed by science. What the fuck does that have to do with your job? Your job is to check shit backed by science. Your job is to enforce the law. This is the fucking nonsense I'm talking about with these people. Stay in your lane. Would I go to space? Absolutely. But they're doing that low Earth orbit thing where you float and then they bring you back down, which is fine too. But I'm talking about space, where you go to actual freaking space. Everything on my TV set is comic book movies on Netflix. TV set rather. Everything on my news feed is just, it's not news. 90% of my news feed is not news. 90% of the stuff is not news. Let's see if we can do this with this. Just a fretboard of the guitar. That almost worked. Right? So I don't know what's going on here. I'm tired. So remember, today is supposed to, I use this for that. I'm really gonna start. We're gonna start. I almost gave away the secret. I'm not giving away the secret. You know, some say I talk too much. And they might be right, or they might be wrong. I find the people who say that I talk too much generally are just judgmental pricks, and they don't really have anything to say to begin with. They're not very, what's the word? I don't want to say knowledgeable, but they're not very social. They just want to always be right and always be judging somebody, like somebody put you in charge of something. You know, so like we said about friends, you know, I'm sure my friends don't mind I chat. They're my friends. I chat. I talk. Let's say I talk a lot. There's some of my friends, I'm sure they don't care. But new people will roll in and tell you what they think about you. Like, you know, you're gonna change the way you've been all your life to make them happy. We don't always get along. I get along with, like, if I met 100 people, I'll get along with easily 75, 80% of them. And others, I'll talk to and I won't like. Others, I will spot instantly and be like, that person and I don't get along. I can just see the look on his face or her face or what they're wearing, which I know people say that shouldn't be a thing, but that's a thing, what you're wearing. Absolutely a thing. So, okay, let's put this on something. Can't even see the clock. Oh, come on, Haps, get your shit together. No more milk. Shot glass of milk. That's what we're talking about. So I have all sorts of stuff I should be doing. Right? I should be scrubbing the F out of this house. This house needs a scrubbing. Ah, found it. Oh boy. You know, it's the cycle, man. It really is. You were young once, or you're young now, and if you're older, you were young once, and if you're young, you were younger once, right? These are the stages of this thing. And oh, perfect. I need an actual game chair. That chair is a little too ridiculous. Then I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Or, well, this chair is not fun to. This chair is an excellent chair. You can do a lot in it, right? I especially like to sit in it this way when I'm tired. But you can't game like this. Uh, this is fun, right? Uh, I have games like this, but this gets tiring. Had a little pillow right here. It's a little softer. This is a great chair. It really is. It's all ergonomic. It's fun to sit in. The first chair I think I've had that's fun to sit in. I would totally have these all over the house, but these chairs are not comfortable when you're tired of sitting in them. They're not reclining, relaxing chairs. They actually are working chairs. Uh, it's excellent to draw at my artboard, which is wobbly now. I need a new art table, or know how to shore up that art table, and I don't know how to do that. Well, it wobbles like this. So the the issue is obviously the connection from the legs to the table. I was like, well, maybe I put 9-degree joints in there. Just zoop, zoop, zoop. And I was like, that's not right. I mean, how do carpenters fix this when they need to fix this? And I've been looking for that off and on for about a year uh, on YouTube. Come on, channel. I don't even know what's up with this image. And I say it time and time again. This is why I can't play games on this channel, right? Just because it won't hold an image. It won't hold. I watched someone else play for like, I think he was playing I have it. What's the name of that game? The Division, right? I think he was playing the Division, and it looked horrible. It looked horrible, and I was like, who would watch this? Who would watch this for 3 hours? Nobody. So the updates don't tell me what they're working on. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll take some images of my desk and be able to fix itself. Really unhappy with this. From 7:08 to a quarter to 9, this has been the image. Right? What are we gonna do with this? We said stopping things because of act of God and thunderstorm and stuff. Half issues. I have to come up with a half issue, uh, half issue contingency plan. Because I'm telling you, man, I'd rather just cut it on and jump into Twitch, quite frankly, and do this there. Although I do like kind of like the community that's growing here, but at the same time, community is but if the fucking product don't work, right? Having said that, I'm ripping on it for about 40 minutes now, and we're good cause. I'm not apologetic about it, but this is the base thing that this streamer should do well. The second thing is audio. If the image was pristine and the audio was bad, I'd be like, oh, come on, 2 out of 3. You know, you got to nail it. It's not radio. But you can still broadcast a radio message without your image, right? But we're dealing in images here. We're dealing in this. Look at this. This is where our fingers are. This is where you got to show people that stuff. Can't show people that stuff for you. And here's the thing. When it goes back to perfect 1080, right? 4K or what? It's not. This is definitely not 4K. When it goes back to 1080, you're not guaranteed it's going to stay at 1080. All right, let's look up some more news since it's telling me my internet connection is good. Yeah, I know my internet connection is good. All right, well, what do we have for you young folk? It's going to be like this the whole show. Remember, the Sunday shows go longer than Sunday shows go longer than the weekday shows, right? Weekday shows an hour and a half every morning and about 2.5, 3 hours every afternoon. And the, excuse me, and the Sunday shows go longer than that, right? So Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Starting tomorrow, 6 p.m. 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. We're going to give that a trial run. 7 p.m. and 6 p.m. And then on Sundays, 7 a.m. and then 6 p.m. But 7 a.m., like I said, on the weekdays, since we got to go to work, it's only an hour, a little over an hour. And on the weekends, since we don't have to go to work, they can be as long as we want. And that's where it is. We try and have it be fun and interesting as long as we want. We're usually talking about other things other than the video quality of this restreamer, which is really just getting my panties in a twist this morning. It's weird because yesterday, man, there's something going on with my sleep. So yesterday, I got off of this thing. I was like, all right. So somewhere around, I want to say 8, I just laid down and that was it. Then I got up, I think 2 hours. No, it wasn't 2 hours. It was like 4 hours. Because I think I caught the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes of Saturday Night Live. And I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. Now I cut that off, came in here, did nothing, quite frankly. I was trying to gear myself up to get into a game. I didn't do that. And then I was up watching cowboy movies and loose science fiction. I think I got halfway through George and the Dragon or something like. I think that's the name of it. And then I was like, all right, I need to get to sleep because I'm gonna have to be up at 6 or so to do the show. So I went to bed at like 3:30, but that was fine because I had, within 24 hours I had just had like 5 hours of sleep. So here I am. I would say bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? It wasn't a full 8 hours. It wasn't a consecutive 8 hours. Um, but it was like a concurrent 8. Well, concurrent is wrong too. But yeah, it was good. Right. Then I was like, yeah, I'm super psyched to be here. Let's do this thing. Uh, I was like, yeah, we can do I can't even show you this because the quality is butt. I was like, yeah, we're gonna do our schedule. Well, I can see the image and trying to like, I think it's because of the light. Huh. That's the best we've had in a while. That's not awesome, perhaps, but that's not good either. Get the Chiron off my dome piece. All right, so I guess this is as good as it's going to get. This looks to be about. I can't even say this is 750. This is less than that. We were dealing with like 250. Now we're like maybe at like, yeah, I don't know. So what are we doing? Huh. Excuse me. So, dare I do this again? Maybe I'll get better. All right, so we have decided we should mock stuff up. So if I mock stuff up, then I got show eating, and that's the problem. So we have to mock stuff up. So when we start training, we train with intention, right? We're not just goofing around. No, I mean, you should want to goof around, but we want to do more work at this instrument, at music, than goofing around. So yeah, we have to do this with some intention. Your intensity is up to you, but definitely intention, right? Because you will get better versus wandering around in this. Excuse me, wandering around in this musical desert, which we might be in danger of if we don't sort of map out where we're going, right? And we've set our route to the North Star, and our North Star is essentially music and discipline, and it's 1,000 miles away, 1,000 miles, 1,000 days away, right? Uh, and we can cover that distance. We just don't want to wander around and then come back on our path and then wander off it again. I mean, we're running at this, right? So we want the most direct path possible. And we know about shortcomings. We know that our fingers are sort of no practice with this, right? So we have to we have to build up finger dexterity and finger accuracy, as well as sense memory of this thing and motor memory of this thing. Those are the hard things, right? Learning, this is a C, this is and on the scope. That's easy. That's reading, that's learning. You've been doing that your whole life. We can do that, but we have to keep them bound together, right? We can't just be like, all this theory, because then I guess we're a teacher who doesn't know music, which I'm assuming some of those exist. People who know music, who can teach music, who don't play anything. Surely, right? We're a big wide world of weirdness. Surely that's a thing in the world. Uh, but yeah, like I said, we want to walk toward it, like keep it in the distance versus wandering off and doing. What would a side project be for us? We don't know what we're doing, but we want to stay on the course of I need to learn this, I need to learn scales, I need to learn theory, I need to learn a little bit how to write. Here's some new practicing to get my fingers a little looser, a little better. Here's plucking things to get my strumming hand a little better, a little. So this is where we're going. This is what we want. We don't want to wander off into the weeds or the woods. Either one of those is not where we want to go. And I find you can wander off into the woods and the weeds if people come in and tell you something that's interesting, and they can sort of take you off your path a little bit. Or people can come and say stuff that's detrimental to your practice, right? So we have to remember all this. This is a practice, right? We're practicing every day. As loose as it is, we're hanging out, we're talking, smoking a J, we're doing whatever. Man, this thing has been a mess for 50 minutes. I'm looking at the clock in the background. See, it's really trying. It's really trying. It's so close there. But man, it is what it is, what it is, isn't it? And what it is just a weird sort of glitch in their framework. But like I said, the first thing is video. Second thing, the first thing is video. Second, by a close margin, is audio. Right? I guess you can dub whatever video you shoot, and you can use the video if you're shooting video, and that you can't use as B-roll, right? But you can always use the video, but it has to be clear. It's TV slash a video, not really TV, but it's a video medium. Whereas audio is an audio medium, so you don't need a video. You can show up in your house coat as long as your voice sounds like this, right? People are like, oh wow, that guy has a great voice. But if if all you do is the audio and your audio game cuts in and out and nobody can hear what the conversation is, then you failed at your number one thing. My number one thing here is learning to play an instrument on stream in front of you guys for the next 1,000 days. And that is becoming increasingly difficult for several reasons. I'm realizing it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. And I have to, like I said, me telling you that we have to come up with a path to play with intention is part of that. So yeah, this is a quirky little stream, man. We won't ever have 500 people watching because we're talking about learning shit, quite frankly, and people like to talk about what other people do, and that's fine. That's just not what we're doing. So you can get a little of this and then go watch them talk about athletes or celebrities and who they're dating or what they're doing, and that's fine. Don't give me problems. Don't give me problems. Bum, 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 bum. Six amazing street photographers. New study suggests cannabis's wild ancestors likely came from China. How? I mean, weed is everywhere. It's a weed. And it's generally traveled, the seeds are traveled by birds. Birds eat seeds of plants. They fly over things. They poop in the air. Those seeds land in soil with fertilizer, and then it may rain, and then the plants grow. That's the way they do it. All birds do, well, all the birds that eat seeds do it, right? Small birds don't digest the seeds. They poop them out. Big birds don't eat seeds. They eat other mammals, right? And those mammals may have eaten some seeds and they poop the remainder of that bird out with whatever seeds are still in it. People act like people were trafficking marijuana before anybody knew anybody else was on the planet but them and their small tribe. And the amount of British people in America working in Hollywood is fucking ridiculous. People are so stupid. Look, a lot of this stuff I see on TV as well, I'll tell you, it looks like low-hanging fruit. It's like the stupidest criminals doing the stupidest shit, and this is all they ever put in the newspaper. The stuff you really want solved, they can't get near because they don't. Few of them are investigative journalism, and even fewer still know how to investigate and break a story. Right? You need leads and all this stuff, and not everything. Nobody's got any real leads, but every day show up and go on condition of anonymity. So and so said Donald Trump or Barack Obama or Gerald Ford or anybody said this, and you go, who said that? Oh, we have journalists' right to not reveal our sources. Seems like a really neat way for you to just lie. Really, I had a friend who did just that. I had his business card here for a while, but he used to work for the New York Times. He was supposed to be going on stories, and he didn't. He just made shit up. Cause this like scandal, national scandal. His name was Jason. Now he doesn't do any of that anymore. Because I mean, he had the big education, right? Got good enough to work for the New York Times, but then was lazy. You know, just the kind of stuff where you go, why would you even? Right? Why would you even? So it is Sunday, the 18th of July. This show counts as church. Let's all pray. This show counts as synagogue. Let's all pray. This show counts as mosque attendance. Let's all pray. All of those people I hope all of those people and their people are safe and well under their maker, unless they're doing bad stuff. Then I hope all those people who are doing bad stuff get what's coming to them quicker rather than later. Put your clothing in. I think the Christians say amen. I don't know what the Jews or the Muslims say. And that, bam, now you're good for the week. I know you normally give money to churches and buy a homeless person a cup of coffee, give them a buck. You know, that serves you right up. You're good for a week. And try not to be hateful. Everybody's always telling you to hate somebody. Try not to be hateful. If you go to a church that tells you to hate somebody, they're not a church. Just telling you. If you're a reverend, pastor, imam, I think there's another name for Muslim pastors too, or your synagogue head, your rabbi, have a problem with me making this a Sunday thing, then they need some talking to. Remember, what's important here is and now I'm talking to the believers now. All you guys who are atheists, sit on the sideline. I'm not talking to you yet. Remember, your immortal soul is what we're talking about here. It's not your church attendance. So you got to be a better person if you're serious about your immortal soul, right? You can't be so happy to be all these fake Christians in America and have been for 1,000 years, right? Raping people and talking about how you're godly, plotting the murder of people from a church. That's been going on here in America for 200, 300 years. So everybody just calm down with how Christian the place is. It isn't. It's up to you to make sure that you are about what your spiritual tenets say you're about. And if your spiritual, like I said, if your spiritual tenets say murder fucking other people, then you're not really part of a church or a mosque or a synagogue or any of that. You're likely just a part of a group of fucking knuckleheads who hang out in the church and plotting against people. So, like I said, this all counts as church if you do it right. So do it right. As for all of those who are not church people, I don't know. I wish you well out in Caesar's palace, right? Caesar's kingdom, Caesar's realm. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, right? I hope you get that dough and meet that nice person that you can hang out and chill with. Meet a nice girl you can confide in and chill with. Have a couple of homies, no such thing as extra friend, but have more than one friend you can have a beer with, play a poker game with, maybe a round of golf with, and then talk to those people, different world views, different upbringings, bring different world views, right? And that way you can better inform yourself of the world by how your friends who've informed themselves of the world have gotten around and seeing yourself. And then, you know, you got a lady friend or a black friend or a younger friend, or I don't have any young friends. But I was once a young friend of people. Like I said, I told you the story about when I was 17, 18, I hung out with people who were like 25, 26, 27, who hooked me up to jazz. I never would have gotten into jazz, hooked me up to like, not jazz. I listened to jazz, I never really liked it, but they exposed me to it. Never really got into it. Miles Davis, all this stuff, just kind of like, see, he's going to go on for 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, but what? I just didn't get it then. But all the other stuff, like he exposed me to Bob Marley, instantly took to Bob Marley, right? He exposed me to ABBA. I mean, I've heard them because they were popular growing up. My sister's a few years older than me. It was what she liked. And I was like, I was a little too young for it. Maybe I was 12 and she was like 18 or so. So, but then they showed me all the other ABBA stuff, right? That I didn't like. Oh, these Dancing Queen and all these poppy good songs that I instantly liked because of the ABBA had what the Beatles had. They knew how to make a fucking like bomb ass hit that was gonna cut through everybody, right? And by I mean like the majority of people, black, white, tall, short, hip hop, disco, rock and roll will listen to their tunes and go, if 10 of those groups, if 10 people of those groups listen to it, 7 of those people are going to be like, I don't like this, right? They may not buy it, but they liked it. And the ones who didn't like it weren't disgusted by it and hated it, right? So they had a thing. They had a knack for making good music. And he introduced me to that. But this is about friends, right? I mean, you got to have friends in this world. And you can't be too judgmental about it, quite frankly. You can't be a burden on your friends. Your friends shouldn't always be like, oh, here he comes. They're not your friends, right? If they regret seeing you, versus like that whole Cheers norm thing. They walk up and everybody's happy to see you, or not happy like giddy, but you know what I'm talking about. So these are the things that we have to keep in mind in this environment. Family is important. Friendship is important. Um, Discipline, like we're trying to do here, is important. Coffee is important. A clear picture on haps is important. For God's sakes, it really is outrageous. I know if I open something, I'm going to lose the picture again. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be a thing. It really shouldn't be a thing. I'm not on my Wi-Fi. It should not be a thing. I'm just checking. Sometimes it goes so badly that it just shuts me out completely. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be a thing. There we go. So yeah, we're checking. And yeah, I'm looking at this. Come on, Haps, fix it. So yeah, you lose images, you lose. I mean, here's the thing. When this happened, I was like, why is this happening? And this pixelation, I had this pixelation for like 20 minutes. It was this bad, and I got so angry. I was like, I could do this stream naked because you can't see anything in the video. Meanwhile, the Chiron is fucking clear, right? Uh, I'm about to take that Chiron down until this thing works properly. I'm gonna stop mentioning the name of this thing. Uh, so yeah, look at this imagery. The imagery is ridiculous. We have been streaming for an hour and have been complaining about this image for about that long, right? For at least 57 minutes. This is what it is. All right, so what are we gonna do since we can't do art? And I've had this thing ticking off for 30 minutes. Um, and we've got a little under 3 minutes to go. And it's still, I mean, did I ask for too much by opening a YouTube page to show you guys something? I shouldn't have. I mean, this shouldn't even be a thing that happened. Should not even be a thing. All right, so an hour streaming with video like this. You can't make any features. Oh my God, I guess I can't be angry. Right? I should just abandon the app. 1,000 days, boy. I'm gonna blow. Whew. Ooh-wee. No such luck. For all I know, I've got boogies hanging out of my nose, but you won't ever be able to tell with this. All right. Tell you, I could run around completely butt ass naked right now. Let's put this here. Oh my gosh. Because here's the problem. There's a small video of me right in the corner. I mean, first of all, there's a delay. So I'm gonna say the delay is about 2 seconds with that clap. But the small image is perfectly clear. And the broadcast image is ridiculous. And there's no place I can go, mic and cam. In here, this changes everything. Right? Go in here, volume control, brightness. 30 minutes of this being like this. All right. Fit in container, fill the container, crop. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything. Video effects. Wow, I just opened up stuff in their settings and look at the picture. I feel like it's like some moon video coming from Andromeda. All right, what are we going to introduce to this program? I think we're going to introduce a little fitness, just a little fitness. What kind of fitness? Why is this not going down? There it is. What kind of fitness? Just light fitness. It won't be part of the guitar stream, but I think just to kind of keep our energy up, man, because I'm telling you, I don't even know what to say right now with this. I've been talking about this image for an hour. Okay, we need to talk about something else. So remember, please eat something, people. I never eat breakfast, and I'm a mess. Look at me. I'm a mental shell of my former self. And when you eat stuff, please calm down with the fried stuff. Eat more greens and vegetables. And be a warrior. Walk through this world like a warrior. It's not always military shit, man. Just the Padres and the Nationals game swept after shooting outside the field. Outside the stadium? Why is this news? A porpoise dies after beachgoers allegedly capture, hug, and pet it. Yeah, that sounds about right. People are morons. Meet Truffles, the special kitty who wears glasses to help kids feel better about wearing theirs. I mean, this whole country's like it's run by Sesame Street. It's like, what? Just where your kid is not a special flower. You better stop all this. My kid's a special flower shit. Because by the time they get older, they will have to deal in the real world, and they will get it handed to them, and you did not prepare them. So shame on you. Sometimes you just got to do shit, like wear your glasses. I don't know how you would explain that, but it's been explained to millions upon millions of children since glasses got invented. Why do you need a cat with glasses on? Everything is not Saturday morning cartoon. Actually, they did away with Saturday morning cartoons to make TV about everything you see on TV is about selling you something. And people warned against it then when I was a kid, and now here you are. All your kids want to do is look like whatever's on TV. This is what happens when you put kids like in front of TVs and you go about your day. They come back with all this information that you did not give them, but corporate America gave them. Rap music is not music anymore. It's corporate fucking music for the people, made by people who will happily tell you they did all this evil in their community, and that's why they have to make these songs. And no one puts together, you did evil in your community. So, it is what it is. Wow. All right. Well, we have been streaming for an hour. and we have no image. It really is sad. I don't know what to tell you. Um, it really is sad. I'm unhappy. This is the unhappiest I've been with this restreamer in a while. But since it is just messy, I could just talk to you from across the room while I cleaned up. That would be not really very guitar practice show. Oh boy, it's beginning to get hot. It was beautiful this morning. What's the weather outside? That was my fault. Oh, look, there's the image. There you go. I think I had to leave and come back. It took an hour. All right. This means we can likely get started. I dropped my phone on the keyboard and it kicked me out of the session in the altogether without ending the session. So maybe that is a thing we need to do. Next time we lose our imagery, leave the session completely without ending it. That doesn't seem like something you'd want your people doing all the time. But no doubt, you can see me, you can see the clock. We are about to get this done. All right, so what are we doing? Since we've got time and these streams go longer, where's my largest paper is. All right, so actually, you know what? We could use cardboard. We can use this. Right, so yeah, it's got a dent in it. Nice. All right, so like we said, we don't have. Shoot. All right. Shoot. We don't have. You know, if I did it this way, there's already lines that we can sort of follow across as a cheat versus doing it this way. You're talking about hanging a lot of stuff on the wall, man. I could do it just like the card and stop making it difficult on myself. One. Okay. All right. Name is about as wide as this card across, right? One frame, half a frame, half a frame, one frame. That's 4. And under that, a box with 100 or so chicks, so you can do 100 practices, right? That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2. Well, All right, hold on. This is how I do art. Remember that thing we did yesterday? Oh, where is it? It's over there. We don't need it now, but we're very impressed with it. What we're going to do is going to get another index card and mock up what that one should look like. This is what you do when you do art. I used to do paint. Well, I used to do painting. I'd say I used to because I haven't painted in like a year. You know, you think that the pandemic would have had me painting my head off. But man, I'm a very sensitive flower. and the pandemic sort of took a lot out of me. A lot out of me. Oh, a lot out of me. I would say I haven't gotten COVID, but I would say I was absolutely profoundly affected by it. To this day. I was a semi-hermit before, now I'm a full and complete ridiculous hermit. All right. So we're going to see. use this. Ton of art supplies in my world. Ton of them. Ton of them. Ton of them. That is a good looking image. That is a sexy motherfucker right there. Sadly, it took an hour and 10 minutes to get the image back. And it only came back by happenstance of a happy accident, which easily could have ended the stream completely and totally. And we're glad that it didn't. But still, it shouldn't have taken this long. All right. All right. Take it easy, Dolores. We know what we're doing. Whenever I feel myself getting goofy, I call myself a lady's name to remind myself to man up and stop being a boy, I guess, a youngster. All right, so this is what we got. We got that sheet, and we have to do this thing. This is cut into 3 divisions. One is creased, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, okay, all right, that works. Where's this? What we want to do is the small words. Here we go. We're not going to use improv, but we are going to use scales. No, wait, hold on. We should put improv down here, though. Improv, which is only 5 words. All right, we'll put that there. And then the longer words. Exercise. Did I even spell that right? Exercise. Yeah, I did. All right. Bum, bum, bum. Songwriting, which we're going to use. Exercise is songwriting. Song, which is also long. Song. Ear training, we're not. Sight reading, we're going to use. That's a nice long word. We'll group those together in the same corner of the sight reading, which essentially means learning music, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then ear training, which is the long one, which is over. Oh, this actually works out. All right, so let's show you what we did. Look at us. Aren't we special? Yeah, we are. So this small, like grouped up, so when I write them, I can kind of feel out from across the room how big the letters need to be, whether they need to be like an inch wide and 2 inches high or 3 inches high and 2 inches wide. And then try and get a little uniformity in there. Improv will be at the bottom, and so will ear training on the long word side. Okay, so then we take those, and then we do this, and we mock up 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Then the big ones will be 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, and then all right, let's. You know, I keep staring at this. I might try not to waste these index sheets because we're not made of money around here. I'm getting hungry, but that's all right. That will pass, even though I shouldn't have let it. But we're working. All right, so it's also bent in this weird way. So let's do that. All right, so that's the mock-up. Pretty decent. So we're going to do one, 1, 2, 3. I mean, why does it have to be? Why does it have to be? Because it's going to bother me if it isn't. Now I have to figure out where everything goes. Hold on. All right, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's 6. So we don't need this, and we don't need this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. But under there, each one has to have a name, right? So let's try improv, right? Under it, it has to have whatever's under the improv. I shouldn't have made that a box. All right, let's make this a circle. Whatever under the improv. And a big block of. I mean, it won't be. Let's do 5, right? All right, so I messed that up by using that. Let's do this to the second one. So, all right, so that looks right, but like I said, I mean, I don't even know if we should be doing this today. So the orange in these boxes are the grids that we're going to put at the bottom of this thing to mark off the days, right? I'm trying to figure out, like, I guess it'll be so like a calendar and each day it may have each day may be cut into 6 pieces, right? So you could get 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, like top 3, middle 3, bottom 3. So that'd be 6. That'd be 9 sessions in that little box. And if we can get like, well, we're going to be here for 1,000 days. It should get old in weather, but we should be able to get at least 60 under each of these, right? At 9 in a box or whatever. But they're under these, right? This improv, right above the improv, ignore the improv, but you see those numbers? There are practices under each of these, which I'm trying to get in, right? So under sight readings, it might be reading music, it might be, any number of things. Like chords have all these different chords up there on the other side of the paper, I guess, right? The different chords up there. And then you need a box to go, we practice the A scale, so B scale, not just scales, right? So you know which one you practice, how often you practice them. When not the last time, but since everything's going to be within 2 days of, you're not going to let, I haven't practiced that in 2 days. So now you're going to move it up. So it's going to slowly track each other. The one way back one is never going to have 100 and the other will kind of have 60, right? It'll always be between two pips in each box, just to make sure that you're doing all of them regularly, even the ones that you don't like. So we have to come up with a way. Okay, we know what we want to do. This is the template. We have to come up with a way that this looks decent, right? So we get a name. Let's go. I wonder if I can find it online. Just tracking practices. See if we can find something about tracking practices. I'm sure we can. Tracking practices. All right, here we go. Tracking your practices. Exercise goals, date time. That's pretty good, but This is another scales, etude, band gig, recitals, read, skill. This is good. Bassoon. All right, you know what? We're going to open this in a new tab. We'll show you that in a second. See, look. Oh, there goes the image. Reinventing the wheel, right? Come on, Haps. You gotta. Don't. Oh, and I also have to buy a erasable clef. I was looking online yesterday on stream, and they were like $14. But I want a big one. I want to like a. I mean, I could buy another big one like this. That's how big as I want it. That erase board, and then just put tape on it, right? And buying a big erase board might be $20, and I don't have to wait for Amazon. And then I've got tape here. I'm so glad we had this time together. Yeah, we're not doing goals and that shit. We just need to make sure we hit every monthly practice goals. That's not it. This looks good, but that's not it either. I think the first one might be, oh, wait, what is this? Scales, arpeggio, songs. No. This is what happens when you're not the most orderly person in the room. That's budgeting. I think this might be it. Exercise goals. But this is you know what? Let's open this too. All right, so let's go back. Oh my God, what is going on with this thing? I'm open. Open image in new tab. Thank you all. We can close this. Where's this one over here? And we'll open this in a new tab. All right. They're essentially, I guess they're essentially the same thing. Date, note, date, note, date, note, date, note. I'm assuming note meant the note that you're practicing because it can't mean like writing something down. All right. So we're going to show you these. Are there any more? Because these all, I mean, there's people are writing them on calendars, which don't seem to be the, what is this goal for the session? Things that went well. See, this seems more, I'm going to take a picture of this too. This one, let's start with this one. Wow, look at this freaking image. Outrageous. Shame on you. Shame on you. All of you. Call yourself a streaming service. It's outrageous. Look at that image. Outrageous. Oh, outrageous. Let's go full screen on this one. All right, this seems more like I mean, it's not bad, but it seems more like something that you write in a journal than have on a board. Goals for the session, things that went well. If we did 1,000 of these, 1,000 days, you know how thick this I wasn't happy with and tried to fix it by next time. Blah, blah, blah. See that? So that's good, but that seems let's get rid of this. Yeah, this is the one. All right, this is the second one. So this seems good too, but I can just swap out this right here. Let's get this bigger for you. I can swap out this right here. I guess dates are important. I could come up with a little thing for the date. But a note should be bigger. If it's like, this, I think this means which note you're practicing. And we're going to learn music, so maybe we should be able to, but we're not going to be practicing the notes by themselves. We're going to be practicing the notes in, maybe I should put my picture in there. All right, so let's do that. All right, so full screen. Perfect. I just did it. Boy. All right, so this is what we're looking at. Yada 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 yada. This right here. We can put a date on it, I guess. But these will be. Yeah, this will be the. Okay, I guess I can do that. Where's that? Where's that thing at? Right. So this will be. Give me one. Chords, right? And then these will be smaller, and it'll say, you know, which chord I'm working, which scale I'm working, maybe 6 of these below each of these, and then a whole bunch of these little things, these little boxes cut into pieces, so you could just X them as you like as you take them off. Not so small that you can have 1,000 of these things on one page, because that'll take forever to fill up. But and we want to see it fill up and put it aside. So maybe that's what I'm thinking, 30-day, 90-day blocks. So and then there's this, which someone wrote by hand, which is essentially the same thing. Scale of the week. Scale of the week. Practice a scale for the whole week. She's got every day in there, 7 days a week. And she's using marked paper, which makes it easier to do this. So I think both of these are essentially the same thing, aren't they? I mean, they're essentially the same thing. So I guess, are there any others? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like this would just, it's not even large. This will just show us check off of the day. What is this one? Yeah. What is this one? 30 days. Man, people who make these kind of like daily planners are doing more arts and craft than actually planning shit. Each one of these pages must take an hour to do. Well, this one probably took 30 minutes, but I mean, it's a lot of stuff for you to be. What is this? Yoga strength, right? It's sort of the same thing. Mood tracker? Y'all need to calm down. What is this? Yeah, we're not trying to reinvent the ooh. All right, let's look at this. All right, so what I can do with this is just do a whole grid and color coordinate what we're studying, right? If I don't know if I need to. Everything is mood. Year in pixels, mood. I'm moody. Come on. I don't think this is the guy that's doing this stuff, but 30 days of yoga. This is interesting. Yeah, these are yoga. All right, what I needed was not yoga. What I needed was just ridiculous informationals. Ooh, wait, what was that? These are all piano practice. This is keyboard, but can you swap this out for guitar practice? I can't make this larger. You people suck. All right. Date, warm up, scales, arpeggios, Monday through the Wednesday, Friday, keyboard practice. It's all exactly the same. All right. My practice schedule. Here's another one. Yeah, this is for a day. We're looking for over months class schedule. Yeah, all right. These aren't helping us out. So we'll just all right. So here we go. This is how it would look when I said I could run around naked and not get in trouble for it. So what do we want to do? Do we want to close this? I think we want to close this. Stop presenting. All right. And the last time there's an end, no, it wasn't end broadcast. It was leave broadcast. And I hopped back in and the imagery was fixed. So I don't even know how I did that the last time without exiting the the whole dealio, my bro. We have been streaming for an hour and a half. The stream has been mostly for an hour and a half. I'd say, okay, we've been streaming for essentially 96 minutes. I'd say the stream was bad for about 60 of them. We ran through, yeah, speaking of 60, we ran 2 30-minute timers on it. There you have it. So what are we doing? We sort of have a loose, what's the one I'm looking for? We sort of have a very vague, loose idea of how we want to put this practice session together. We could just have empty boxes color coding at the bottom, have what each one means. And we'll have a little line. We're not practicing the same thing every day, but we're practicing the same categories multiple times a day. But hold on, is that right? Wait a minute. We've got 6 categories that we're going to practice 10-15 minutes on either or. Not did I say 10? Sweet Jesus, forgive me. We don't have. Oh my gosh, how do I even? Hmm. Yeah, all right. I don't know what's going on here. Like I said, it was an accident that I jumped out of the stream before and did it. I don't even know what to say about it. Public information. All right. Ha, 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 ha. That worked. Uh, all right. I don't even know what to tell you. This restreamer is restreamy. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I don't know how to fix this. I mean, the last time I fixed it by accident, where I thought I ended the stream, and I didn't, and then I came back and the picture was perfectly clear. If I could go in, because cutting the camera off within the thing isn't helping me, but I need to somehow. I wonder if I switch to portrait mode, if anything will reset program layout, restart graphics server. All right. Oh my God. All right. So this is what happened. This is how I fixed it. I essentially. We're still streaming. I just want to make sure. I essentially can't even say left and came back. I didn't refresh it. I went back in history and then came immediately back, and the image was fixed. but I can't look up stuff for you, which is just the worst. Seriously, it is the worst. It is not awesome. Um, okay, so we were talking about what we're doing. Then we got sidetracked with the first problem of this stream, the video. You know, I keep saying it's not radio, it's video. Video should work. Look, I love outside. I love outdoors. I love fresh wind in my hair as I run through the clover like any other girl. However, when it begins to get hot, I've stopped trying to save the world. I just close the window, turn on the air conditioning. The best thing about outside is the wind rushing across your face, right? That's not the same with air conditioning. About half of US either doubts Biden's legitimacy or think they should get the vaccine or shouldn't get the vaccine. Both beliefs are so dangerous. All these high school debutantes writing fucking for the news. They're always crying about something, trying to blame something on someone. It is your right as an American. And that's all I'll say. And I'll leave the fighting to you and the politicians. But geez, people act like you don't have a right to fucking disagree with anything they say. And I'm on their side on this. I think you should get the vaccine. But all this, we're free, but if you don't do it, you can't work and we'll fire you and all this other stuff is just not the mode, my dog. Not the mode. All right. What is the weather outside?
It's currently partly cloudy and 79 degrees.
79 degrees is the low, but I don't understand that because it's saying low is 79 degrees, high is going to be 91. But I woke up, it was 74, I want to say. Am I going to look up the Weather Channel and lose this image? Yeah, I am. I don't like to be boxed in. 79 degrees, feels like 78. Okay, I'll buy it. It's going to rain tomorrow. Oh boy, it's going to rain all morning. It's going to rain Monday and Tuesday all morning. It's not going to rain Wednesday. Okay, you may see me here Monday and Tuesday. Today is Sunday, 89, low 74 degrees. Okay, I saw this thing where you can't get 69 degrees on Apple iPhones because 69 is bad, I guess. I don't know why is 69 bad. 69 is good. But everything isn't sexual. Why are you making everything sexual? Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. You can't get 69 on your weather app. Anybody else think that's ridiculous? I wish my weather app was on 69 all day. Woo! And we lost some injury. That's fine. I guess sometimes they're having a bad day. Sometimes your bandwidth is big. And you have trouble at your server, but please fix it. Because you make it think that it's the person, it's not the person. So what are we doing? Are we doing this thing today? We've decided to make it. Did I close all the windows and not know what I... All right, we decided to do this one. Okay, so we'll open the image in a new tab. And we are going to essentially do... oh, good. You guys are still with me. I don't have to close this image. We'll put it over here. Shave and a haircut. Okay, what do we got for color variation, right? We'll use the things we're doing in a bright and happy color, like orange, because we're happy to see them, right? We'll do the marks in black to, like, you know, each one is a nail in the coffin of our practice schedule, not the nail in the coffin of our each is a nail in the coffin of us not being musicians, right? One, two, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay. And I can write small what we're practicing, but I gotta tell you, I was gonna do this, but I really sort of need those bullet points of what to practice, when to practice it, how to practice it. Oh, poo. All right. Shoot. Sometimes I make it too complicated, but sometimes I just get ahead of myself. So I don't know if this is me getting ahead of myself or me making it more complicated. Because I think both of those are legit. Me getting ahead of myself means I have to slow down, get online, and look up. Because this is a fairly famous schedule, so I can just look up what they had in their schedule, and what they have in their schedule is exercise, alt picking, sweep picking, legato, and hybrid picking. Under sight readings is empty. Under improv is empty. Under ear training is learn solo with tabs, right? That's ear training. Under theory is 4-part arpeggios, triad inversions, close and triad spread. Under theory. Under scales is harmonic minor, melodic minor, and whole tones. Under chords is empty, and under songwriting is empty. So, I mean, I've got some stuff going on here. I just need to sort of properly fill it out. Yeah, cha. We've been streaming for an hour. Oh, we've been streaming for about 2 hours. I hate to say about, that means we're generally 10 minutes off. Huh. Ooh, excuse me. I prefer to say we have been, implying that we've done it already. But man, I gotta tell you, today has been a day. I blame myself. Yeah, I think we should have looked this up and had more stuff to do earlier. This is me getting ahead of myself, not me. What did I say? Or getting ahead of me just being too in my own head. This is not me being in my own head. This is me getting ahead of myself. So I have to slow down. I have to find these things, which I'm pretty sure I can do right now. I wish I knew what this was called. Guitar. I mean, I found it. I can find it again. Beautiful mistake. Okay. Ooh, what is this? Practice. Whole theory, 6 p.m. No, that's time. Steps creating your own guitar practice routine. Well, this bears a little looking at. Shall I share it with you? Get very clear on what your long-term musical goals are. Calm down. Identify your musical strengths and weaknesses. All right, that makes sense. Set a realistic goal. What is realistic? Everybody has a different realistic measurement. Learn what musical elements you need to master, but what you don't know what see what I mean? I can already see this is off someone's own skirt. Always include creative development. I guess that's the improv, but we don't know what that is yet. Application is key. Invest time each day to work on applying your skills into real music. Okay. Even if you have not mastered them yet. Okay, I get that. And this is why they have you learn songs while you're learning, because you'll run across stuff that's in a song. All of it is just enrichment, I guess, but you'll also practice those things that you learn and you'll put it to practice in a song. So I totally get it. Create your practice schedule in 8-day cycles instead of 7-day cycles. I don't why though. Create 3 to 5 different 8-day practice schedules. You each schedule twice for 16 days before working with the next one. Okay, calm down. Who wrote this? I don't even want to know. That doesn't it seems a little too warm up technique skills and arpeggios, chords, voicing, sight reading theory, rhythm and timing, practice material, new material, open material. Yeah, we're gonna show you some of this because some of this is good. Da, 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 da. We're gonna open this in a new tab. That thing we just closed, we're gonna open up that in a new tab so you can see the nonsense of it. Ugh, come on, man. Do, 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 do. This is so small and I can't make it bigger. Yeah, that'll get all fuzzy and stupid. All right. And what is the other one? Practice schedule: 5-minute warm up, 5-minute chorus, 5-minute fret work, change per minute. Guitar practice planner. There's a ton of these. Oh, this looks good. Oh no, that's out of the element. All right. Jesus Christmas. What is this? Practice log. First, second, third, 31st. Okay, yeah, that's not anything. All right. Oh, ugh. Okay, yeah. So this is a guy doing it. So why don't we just open up this YouTube page, which I will link in the description. Yep, look at that. Come on. This restream is ridiculous. I'm going to link this in the description. And we're essentially going to copy this. We're going to paste this here. And this is what we're going to do. Because this is where I got it from. And where's paste? All right. So, and he's got an hour-long schedule. So we're going to break that up to the time that we think is fine. Good Lord, the guitar. All right. First of all, that is not how you spell edification. Get your action together. And that is not how you spell guitar. Get your guitar together. All right. And there you have it. I'm holding on, holding on. Beautiful mistakes. Yep. It's 3 minutes, but man. One, two, three. Exercise skills, chords, sight reading, theory, songwriting, improv, ear training. All right, that's what I have. Then under each of these, you put some stuff. Should I show you this? I should show you this. All right, so here we are. All right, this is we're gonna up. We're backwards. Sorry. All right, let's pause this. Let's make this the biggest. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Even the biggest. All right, here we go. So this is what we wrote down. Stop telling me I know that you're so right. So 15 minutes of exercise, 15 minutes of scales, 15 minutes of chords, 15 minutes of but this is going to be different for us since we do such long shows. The most we'll do anything is 15 minutes. But then like after we've done it once or twice in the 3 hours, right, we will get back to so we'll be doing like gym workouts of 3 sets, but they won't be like back to back to back, right? And Monday we may do 5 of these, right? And then Tuesday we'll do the three that we didn't do, right? So let's say we do exercise, scales, chords, sight reading, and theory. The next day we'll do songwriting, improv, ear training, and back to the top, exercise and scales. Then the day after that, we'll do what we didn't do, which will be chords, sight reading, and theory. And you know what I'm saying? So we're going to slowly keep this in a churn as we chalk off what we know. Now, what I don't have is under these things. You can see my cursor, right? Where's my cursor? I can't see it. Okay, there I can see it. All right. So good lord. So that's where I'm at now. So what we need to do is put stuff under here, right? So this is him doing the whole thing over again, right? So how long you should do each one, and what you should do under each one. Here you go, dude. I highly recommend you if you want to do this. You like this guy because I mean he's been teaching people how to play. He's got a fairly good sense of humor, which is what we all want to know. All right, so all of these are the categories, right? So these are the things we need to write up under all of those. Now, so one session we'll play this, and we might play this for a few days, and this for a few days, right? So we have to know, even though we did exercises, we want to know which one we did. Maybe we'll just do this. Yeah, that's what I said. And then like write out from under them into infinity, and we'll just yeah, okay, that's what we're gonna do. Oh my goodness gracious, I feel like there's a mosquito bite on my friggin' forehead. So this is scales, right? Harmonic minor. I don't right, etc. I don't even know what the etc. is. So I don't know what harmonic minor is. I don't know what whole tones are. I'm supposed to be running right now. Uh, we got to find out this. All this I think is going to come under like theory or something. So you have to read about it, and then we have to put it into practice. Ear training. I do that all the time without tabs. I don't understand that. Identifying intervals. Don't know what that is. Got to look for it. Right. So all this is ear training. I think that's a right. So all this groovy ass stuff we got to learn. But and theory. And now I just have to write all of these under it. Look up some of them, and I want to get this done by tomorrow. Etc. is a killer. Yeah. See, arts and crafts too. All right. So let's get back to me. Good lord, stop this. I will close this. Stop presenting. We'll freeze that. I'm a mess. We're gonna do that thing again. See if it works. I guess it's not working. Hold on. What's going on here? What is this? There's a pop-up that won't allow me to do anything now. Wonder what happens if I reload this page. I don't think I'll end it, but let's reload. We're still streaming. We got a better video because I reloaded the page versus waiting 25 minutes. Sweet Jesus. So we have to reload the page. It won't end the stream. That is good to know. We have been streaming for 2 hours. Oh, and an hour and about half of it has been fighting with the video. But that's good. So we know what we're doing. I'm going to write these down. 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 I'm going to come up with we just said, right? But we have some of those on this. And we didn't write the others in because we didn't know what they were. And we wanted to adjust for ourselves. So if I did anything, I could do scales and theories and exercises are full. All right, you know what? I put this on the cover of the book, hoping not to lose it, my guitar scratch book. I think I'm going to write it neatly on the inner pages of said guitar scrapbook. Where's tape? I need to tape some of these things down in here. These are show ideas, which shouldn't be in here, but I can't move them. Palm muting. Yeah, this has already become a sloppy book for music. All right. And I got to put this somewhere so I don't. We have a pen and we have an artboard to lean on. Lean on me. All right. So we want multiple colors, so we're going to use this pen and we're going to go back to some of this and write out okay. Xer. We'll write that over here. We'll write scales. Right over here, we'll write chords. All right, so Xer is fine. It's 5 letters. We don't have to write the whole thing. We have theory. We'll just write song versus songwriting. We know what it means. Sight reading. We just call it reading. We know what that means. We want to read music. Exercise skills, chords, reading. We got theory. Okay, theory. I'll swap them around. Yeah, okay. Improv and ear training is down here. Here. We'll just use that. All right, so let's take all of this out so they don't fall out. So this is what I rewrote here. Now we got to fill those in with things to do. But here's the thing. The more I look at this, it might just be better being, let's use red here. A, B, well, we don't want to use A, B, C, D in music, right? We want to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then let's use green for whatever. I'm a mess. All right. Colors matter here. So what we're going to do here is just blot this out with a giant freaking black marker. And we're going to act like it didn't happen. All right. So We're going to try this one more time. I swear to gosh, I'm not crazy. We're not going to use where we're using no. Right? Yeah, we're using numbers because we're not using letters. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what we're practicing, right? Practice. Practi. That's it. All right. This is what we practice. And then the red will be the thing we have to practice. You know what? Black will be the border between. Oh, come on, man. Really? My black isn't working here? What's going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start that again. Good Lord, we haven't picked up a guitar yet. All right, so the red will be the thing we need to practice, and each one of these have like 5 or 6 things, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the red is what we need to practice, and then the blue Lord. Okay. Okay. All right. This is, I think, what we're going to do today. All right. Let's show you the ugliness. Are you ready, baby? This is this is going to be our schedule. Like I said, it won't be like the one we put in the chat. It'll be some ups, some downs. I wonder if I put this in the chat and if it went to, it probably did not go to, it probably didn't go to the other side. See, that is the problem with this thing. If I type with a chat, excuse me, it should go to all the chat. If someone types in the chat, it should go to all the chats. So now, you know, I'll put this in the chat, but not everybody has what I'm restreaming on, and it doesn't go where I need it to go, which makes me mad for the people. Like if I was on Twitch watching this, going, oh wait, I'm waiting for that link. Where is it? And it didn't come up, I'd be mad. And I think I'd be rightfully so. All right, we're gonna lose picture here because here we go. What is cast? How come I can't copy this? Yeah, let's do this. Oh my God. All right. This is how I have to copy it. Copy, cancel. Let's put it on screen. All right. So we're going to drop this after I copied it into the chat here. And then we're going to run over here and drop it in the Twitch chat because, I mean, between me and the wallpaper, there's some weird hiccups and we don't know what to do about them. So, to do what it is, mate. And even as okay, so now we go back to where we were. And then we try that trick one more time to get the video back. Let's drop this. Let's close that. This is good. Nope, this is still good Lord, man. Let's go back to that. Let's drop this and let's see if we can fix our video with this weird trick we learned. I guess that fixes it, but I don't think you should have to. Okay, so I put it in YouTube, Twitch, and here. I'm assuming why isn't the YouTube coming up? Now I got to check it to see if I actually sent it. Nobody panic. It's okay. This is going to happen one more time. Really? I didn't put it in the chat. Let's do it. Paste. Send. All right. Let's close this. There you go. That's in all three chats. All right. So I should have been able to drop this in one chat and have it hit every place, and it doesn't. And that doesn't make any sense. So please, while I got you here, please like and subscribe to this channel. Please like and subscribe wherever you're watching me. So to this channel. Here I'm streaming. Oh boy, here we go. I got to do that thing again. I'm streaming on Haps. A restreamer to my YouTube channel. Please like me there. True Armor, it's in the chat. TRU space S space Armor ARMOR at YouTube. Please like me there. Show me some love, and please like my gaming channel on Twitch, which is Karma Armor ARMA. Please, I will be grateful, and I will do the same for you. That's the way that works. So now we're going to do this thing again. Didn't clear up as good as the last time, but good Lord, it is a little better. It's a lot better. So we are going to look up at least three things, at least three. We don't have to, it doesn't have to get crazy. Three things to put in all of these categories, right? At least three things. We should probably know what those are. I still don't know what sweep picking is. I don't know what legato is. Hybrid picking, I have no idea. Those are on the exercises. Scales, harmonic minor, melodic minor. I have no idea what those are. 4-part arpeggios. I know arpeggios are solos, right? But this is all on the theory, so I need to know what that is. Yeah. That's going to be the easy part. That's reading. That's putting stuff in your brain. We've been reading forever, like I said earlier. That's the easy part. The hard part is getting it into our fingers, making it sense memory, making it making it sense memory, making it muscle memory, making it relaxing our not relaxing. Relaxing is the wrong word. Getting our fingers fit to do this work. Remember, these guys play guitar. Like if you go to a concert that you like, how long is that concert? 2 hours, 3 hours? A good concert is like 3 hours, right? I've been to some concert that I paid for, and it was like an hour and a half. People are like, boo, an hour and a half. You better get out here and do a 30-minute encore to make this ticket worth it. This $90 shirt I bought, this tour shirt, bullshit. So anyway, I'm sliding people. Anyway, we want to make sure that we know what we're doing. Like I was saying, these guys, they play at live concerts, right? For what? 2 hours, 3 hours? I mean, it's no thing to them. It's like you walking someplace. You going shopping that day. You hit the mall, you get up, you hit the mall. Like your legs aren't tired when you get up, you walk to the car or do some stuff. Your legs aren't tired because you walked to the car that day. Your legs don't get tired until you walked and walked and walked. And my feet. Your body begins to let you know, hey, we've been doing this for a while. Little babies get tired because they're new to walking, and then they cry and they're unhappy. And I think adults who've been walking forever forget this. So sometimes you have to pick up little guys, right? Sometimes you have to give a break to your 6-year-old from walking. But you've been doing it so long, it's not an issue. Maybe when you get older, you realize when you're 70 or 80, it becomes an issue. But it's not an issue. When you've been playing this long and their fingers are so conditioned, playing for 3 hours, 5 hours is not an issue. And I'm pretty afterwards, they go back and have a beer with each other and hammer out songs. People hammer out songs at practice, not practice, at in studio sessions. Like they write other songs while they're working on. So it's not like, oh, I would like to write a song, but my hands hurt. It's not that you're conditioned. So all this stuff in our hands, right? We gotta get not physical. Obviously, guitar is physical. We gotta get adapted to like all this thing that it hasn't ever done, and now it's gonna do regularly. And we have to build up those muscles. I'm looking at like rehab, right? You do it every day. Oh, that actually feels good as you wiggle your fingers. Ooh, you feel that right back here. I don't think that, well, I'm pretty sure it does something for the fingers, but man, yeah, we've got a lot of muscles that we don't use, right? And you don't only realize it until you activate those muscles. So, I realized this when I was doing yoga. I was like, oh, I was always semi-flexible and because I did a lot of stuff. But when I started doing yoga, I was like, oh, wow, this hurts. I got like a weird, and it's because you're activating something you haven't ever needed to activate, right? It may kick off a couple of times a day because you're walking, but you didn't try and put muscle on it or stretch it out and make it. So now we're trying to put muscle in our fingers, right? Fingers and hands, but we're also trying to stretch out these ligaments and make them faster. And that also comes with age, right? I'm not going to be, like I said before, I'm not going to be Eddie Van Halen in this thing up, right? I mean, those two guys, him and his brother, musicians from way back. Their father was a musician, right? They came to this country with musical know-how and no language apparently, but that's the way. They brought their talent. They purchased their talent through discipline and hard work at a young age, and by the time you're 20, you can play that whole album and your fingers don't hurt. And I'm at the point where I'm like, ooh, these exercises hurt. By around January, I don't want that. I want to be able to go, oh, my hands are stronger. And now, and by then, mind you, by August, we said August, we're going to actually start learning some music. So we tried to get all those chords in our head. I think we still got them. We got to get at least another 5 or 10 in our head, which which I think we can do because we got the other chords in our head fairly freaking quickly. Sloppy as they were, we got to make sure they're not sloppy. I mean, someone told me what we want is pristine and clear notes. That is the first thing of music, just like video streaming. Your first thing is a clean, clear picture. Your first thing as a musician, trying to be a musician as we go about this journey, is a clean, clear, ringing note, right? Like you hear those in those ear tests, boom, right? That's what we want. Granted, nobody's perfect. You're going to make some mistakes, but by the time we get to, I'm so New York. I'm always checking on my car like it's going to be gone. I guess it never had it be gone, but it is what it is. What it is. What it is, isn't it? Okay. Clean, clear notes. You know what? I'm definitely going to be on Twitch later today playing Baldur's Gate. Come get some, please. That will likely be 4 or 5 hours of hot mayhem. And I'm telling you, I'm really beginning to. I'm going to do my 1,000-day devotional. I want to do it on this Restreamer, but if this Restreamer is this problematic, I'm just going to do my 1,000-day devotional someplace else, and I'll use this for whatever I use it for. I guess I could use it for updates about where you can meet me. But I mean, I like the people on this Restreaming app. The people are really fucking awesome. Yeah, I really do. I just hope they get. I hope they get the act together. It's such a good communal thing. But man, it's frustrating like a freaking lazy girlfriend. And before anybody gets offended, the only people who can get offended at that statement is lazy girlfriends. I used to do that a lot. You can test people with your language. You know this, right? If I say something and you rabbit, then what someone once told me, hey, I resemble that remark. Instead of I resent that remark. Like, so that's what they're really telling you. So if you go off about greedy people and someone goes, well, you don't really understand, then they're the greedy person. They're subconsciously trying to defend something. We all have it. It's a tell. It's like poker. I have it too. I have one. Definitely. definitely have one. But you know, it's hard to find because I shoot my mouth off about everything I believe. So you know you know a lot about me by me just talking, but you don't know what I hold most sacred because I don't touch that. I don't discuss it on the internet. The stuff I discuss on the internet, I won't say I don't care about. I do care about them, but my my walls are a lot lower than other people's walls, right? Besides, when I'm in the walls and you get in, I have a shotgun and a cannon and an aerial. Uh, what they call those? Air to sea like missiles to protect my emotional state. Even as I'm trying to be more like, because I realize we have to be, if we want to be musicians, we have to be a little more vulnerable, write things that may hurt us. Oh, she broke my heart and I was an asshole and I totally deserved it and I miss her, right? That's vulnerability. You write that down and people go, man, that guy wrote that song. I could never wrote that, but man, I totally felt that because that happened to me. That's what we want. We don't want to write rap music, which everything is bravado and bullshit and very little. I got it wrong, and I wish I could take it back. But we want to write not ballads, battle cry songs too, right? One of the famous ones is Eminem's 8 Mile, right? He's like, I'm sick of these people. I'm not gonna fail. I'm doubling down on success. Fuck all y'all. That's a battle rap. Like it's a battle rap, but it's like a ballad. Like you can hum that to yourself before job interviews and get right. It's like I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. One of the first like empowerment battle like songs for women, right? You can sit and say that. I'd sing that after a breakup. Like, you thought you could crush me? Oh no, not I. Right? It's a good. So there's a lot of those good songs. You could write one. Why not? You could write one about a ballad or about just about life in general. You know, not don't give up. I got this. You know, I'm not giving up. I'm taking it to the limit. I'm knocking it out, and it doesn't have anything to do with like a partner or girlfriend, or it's just about me and my worldview on any topic about I'm going to right. So this is what we want. But that's vulnerability. That's saying I got my ass kicked, but you know what? I'm down, but I'm not out, and fuck all you people, right? That is vulnerability, right? That's and then other people can latch on and gain strength from it. That's what we want, and we want it with a good picture. So we have been streaming for about 2 hours. Yesterday we ended the show here, 2 hours and 22 minutes, and I was exhausted. That was the afternoon show, and it was an hour and a half short. I ended it at 2 hours and 22 minutes after saying 40 minutes earlier that we've got another hour and a half, 2 hours to go. We always ended at about 3:30. The new policy is we're not doing 5 hour streams anymore, even though we did one 3 days ago. We're not doing 5 hour streams anymore because no one's going to sit and watch it. I used to love to watch a long stream, 5 hour stream. I clean my apartment, I do the dishes, I cook something. It'd be, I thought it was fun. But now everybody likes short things, TikToks, 30 seconds. The shortest you're going to get on YouTube is like 15 minutes. You know, I think it's because nobody reads anymore. You have to be able to sit and do something for a little bit, and people can't do that. I mean, people don't sit and read the paper. They take 5-minute bits of information from their phone. And I get why. Look, all these people who want to tell you that they bring you the news and then put it behind a paywall, fuck those people. If they want the news, they'd be giving you the news, right? Versus this thing. And it's only about famous celebrity people. And when it's about things that you need, it's a spin that you're either lazy or criminal for why you don't have what you have. Not this society is inherently unfair to a good percentage of its people. And it learned just by practicing those unfair traits on Black people and then exported it to everybody. And on top of that, you've got people in the country who, quite frankly, do not belong here. Other people in the country who came here to avoid some other thing but don't like it here. And they're feeding on the system. And you can see it. You can actually see who's doing what. Just like the Nazis, right? The one thing you learned about the Nazis is they kept records of, because they wanted the money to go to them, right? And they're also German, meticulous record keeping. And it became a thing, follow the money. And you can follow the money here. It always goes upstream. The poor are just always demonized. You can't afford a house anymore. You and your spouse, you both work. And if you're a renter, you can't afford a rental anymore. they put their finger completely in the eye of what this whole place stands for. We're going to have to deal with it down the line, right? That's what I believe. But I could be a fucking idiot and wrong. Like, get in the comments and tell me, oh, dude, I think you're wrong. But like I said yesterday, there's a way to do it. Don't come and be an asshole. Don't be an asshole in anybody's chat. But if you, not even if you have a question, if you think you're right and they're wrong for saying what they said, let them know in the chat respectfully. That way the chat don't get deleted and you don't get banned, right? I mean, I can throw shade like with the best of them, but I can also go, oh, I don't know about that, right? I once said something and this young dude, Jewish dude, fixed my clock on it. I was like, yeah, why didn't the Jews get guns? What's that all about? He's like, no, you got to understand about the people. And wasn't a gun culture in Germany. And, and I was like, yeah, why did I think of that? Gun culture is only in America. It was the stupidest overlook that I've made in a while. And it was on Facebook back when I was on Facebook. And I was like, you're fucking absolutely right. Right? And then I started thinking, not everybody even likes guns. Why would you assume everybody? Right? And I apologize. I didn't really apologize, but I essentially acknowledged, oh, you're right, and I was wrong, and it changed my outlook. Just that little interaction of now I look at all other people. Well, why didn't you go to war? Like, not everybody's war-minded knucklehead. I mean, just because you grew up in this violent society, right? But that's it. He could have just came in the chat and like, you're an asshole and what the fuck and you're anti-Semite and dip. And I was like, man, fuck you, right? But he was like, nope, I don't think that's right, and here's why. And he wasn't, excuse me, begging your pardon, sir. Kind of. He was like, no, I don't think that's right, man, because this reason and that reason, this reason, and a couple of other reasons. But those are the major ones. I'm like, really? You know me. You see me doing it. I went straight to the internet, and I was like, huh. Came back like a half an hour, like, dude, how right were you? Right? And I haven't seen him in a while because I'm with away, but we remained friends after that for like, I think I was on the Instagram, Facebook for like another 3 or 4 years. That's what it is. If you disagree with this, that, or the other thing, you're an intelligent fucking being. You can say so without being an asshole about it. I mean, I was talking crap about this streamer, and then I just stopped being an asshole about it. I started being an asshole about it because I was getting frustrated. So don't argue when you're frustrated. I have a thing when I argue, I never curse and I stay on point because I will lose my shit, right? And I've had an argument with ex-girlfriends where I was just kind of like, all right, we've been arguing about this too long. This conversation is over. We can start this up. And sometimes some people want to continue. Don't walk away from me. No, I'm walking away from you or I'm killing you. You get to decide. This fucking conversation is going on for 3 hours. Fucking's wrong with you? Yeah. We all are different, and I don't want to give you the speech about making friends, but yeah, this is what it comes down to. People you like, but at the very same time, you are respectful of their beliefs and where they come from, because we all don't come from the same place, right? You shouldn't be disrespected by your friends, not at all. That is bullshit. You should not abandon your friends, not at all. That is bullshit. It's a two-way street. You support them in their endeavors, unless it's something stupid and sinister, right? Unless you're both stupid and sinister, go get it. But I have to tell you, there is no honor amongst thieves. If one of you is caught, one of you is giving up. The idea, I tell people, let's talk about, while I'm here, I'm going to give you a little cop speech, right? You can tell this to the kids. First of all, there's no such thing as honor amongst thieves. There really isn't. Because if you got 10 guys, one guy will be a shifty fucker and happily sell everybody out. Talk to the FBI about so he doesn't do 6 months in jail, right? Versus everybody's about to do 900 years. So, know who's around you. Know their tolerance generally. Like, if you're going to do something, and I want to go, nah, he's a rat, or he'll tell. Nah, man, you can't come with us. This is different. And people are children. Just because they want to go, they'll get resentful, right? And try and fuck with your flow. And if they're resentful people, get rid of them. Doesn't matter. The resentful people are never good for you. Having said that, you and I rob a bank, right? Ooh, I don't even have any money in here. We get one harmonica, tuner / metronome, and 3 of the swiftiest picks you're ever gonna find in life, right? Y'all get away with the loot. Loot is worth whatever you want it to be. You're like, I wouldn't steal for that. Well, let's say this was Elvis's harmonica that he only used once. He never used harmonica, and he used it on one of his great songs. He only used it once. Let's say these picks are from 3 of the greats: Tom Petty, Jimi Hendrix, and Eddie Van Halen. Right? So now they're worth $1 million or whatever, $1 billion, $1 trillion, whatever the case may be. The cops catch me. You, I, and the rest of our homies get away with it. The cops catch me. Honor amongst thieves means I'm gonna do the bid and I'm not gonna say anything. But now I'll give you there's a caveat to that. No, I'll tell you the caveat now because I'll likely forget it. The caveat is back in the day, you would get out and have enough time to still have a life. Now everybody gets their lives thrown away for all manners. Everybody gets a 30-year sentence. It's just bullshit. These fucking judges are bullshit. They really are. But in the day, when you could do something stupid, do 15 years for it, which is no slouch of time. I don't care what anybody fucking says. You know, you'd come out, but the people you did the crime with would have saved your share. There'd be, you know, somebody to meet you at the house. They look after your woman. Super rare that happened, right? Super rare. Nowadays, it's let me tell you're looking at 700 years in jail. There's no justice here. It's just perpetual bullshit leverage. And then the cops do shit and they're never even looked at, right? You do shit. The thing that you should do that should get you 3 years in jail will get you 12. The thing you do that gets you a fist fight, simple assault, used to be a fight amongst men. Now you're looking at 15 years for a fucking fist fight. It's how they control people in this society that they don't like. Meanwhile, their children are never near this shit, right? One, their children just cry about my dad's a lawyer, right? That a lot of these fucking people are soft as shit. They only ever have fights where they're the biggest bully, right? It's like this. And then, you know, they run on what their parents do. Other kids are just sinister. We had that congressman who got up on that dude's face, a Navy SEAL, and he was like, all, you know, the guy was like 5'2" and maybe 120 pounds, and you're 6 foot. But why would you even? And all this honor stuff on military honor. It's only honor if you keep it up. You know, I'm not going to heap laurels on you if you're a piece of shit in the community with a fucking military record, right? Bullshit. Don't fall for bullshit. And that whole thing, back to the original conversation, honor among thieves, the idea we don't snitch, it's bullshit, right? So if I'm an honorable thief and I don't snitch, I don't tell the cops, right? But here's another thing about snitching. If I see you do that, take the microphone and the 3 things, you get away with it. And the cops ask me, I'm a good citizen for telling on you. It's impossible for me to be a snitch if I was not involved in the crime. I'm just a witness, and I can be a good witness for my community, and I guess stand up for my name and say I saw X do Y, and da 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 da, right? That's just good citizenry. But now the bad guys will attack that, you know. So it's the whole system is fucked up because America let a lot of shitty people do a lot of shitty things while it targeted innocent groups and stole money from all manner, took money rather from all manner of people, stole money from all manner of people. So instead of trying to make this what it's supposed to be about, right? A meritocracy. I work hard, I succeeded in America. Now you can work hard, you're not going to succeed in America because the fix is in. And now I think that, you know, it's hit ahead. How you gonna draw it back in? You're gonna make the rich pay their taxes, these billionaires, right? You're gonna do something bullshit for bells, like you gave black people a holiday that they didn't even ask for. You know, I wonder what the black turnout is gonna be for people under 50 in the Democratic Party, because all the super old people, my parents voted en masse for Biden, who I believe is just a racist asshat, another sinister politician. But all those people below him are like, fuck these people. So there's going to be a whole new wave of Democrats who can't get elected, who are going to be trying to tell you, trying to appeal you for racial reasons. We're black. We can, you know, it's just like, now I'm not doing it anymore. Just like I'm here doing this, I'm not doing that anymore. They didn't even take, I'd say it's the Whitney Houston treatment. The thing about Whitney Houston, right? one of the greatest things in the world. Her entourage couldn't even keep her alive. You got one job. You didn't even keep your golden goose, your gravy train running. What are you all doing now? I hope she left you all millions of dollars, right? You couldn't even keep her alive. You know, if I lived off you and you were a rock star, I would tell everyone around you, we're going to make sure he doesn't get arrested for shit. We're going to make sure, you know, his drug guys, and he's not caught ever with it. And we're going to make sure he doesn't OD, because then we all have to fucking go back to working at Walmart. So, you know, he's your insurance policy. Keep your insurance policy alive. It's that simple, lazy bullshit of it that people don't even do. So, yeah, tis what it is, ain't it? In conclusion, if you did not do the crime with these people, you are not part of the crime. You cannot possibly snitch. You can't possibly snitch. All right. You can be held captive at gunpoint. Don't say anything. That's different. That's I'm about to say contortion. That's being when someone makes you do something and you're unwilling. Anyway, it'll come to me in about 2 minutes or so. But that's what it is, right? I mean, don't get gaslight. Everybody's trying to gaslight you. Everybody's trying to have you believe in bullshit so they can sell you some bullshit, likely on a t-shirt, right? All these 20-year-olds writing sad love songs like they have all this history with heartbreak. They're only being pushed by corporate nonsense because they're young and they're pretty. You ask them anything, they got no opinion. Because, you know, a life lived is a thing, man. I worked here at a bus stop. I worked here. My bosses were bad. This was a good job. This is what I need. I can barely get through. I need enough money to pay my rent and my car. Look, everybody needs a certain amount of income because the nation says so. And then they denied you that basic certain amount. And then they try and sell it to you by going, first of all, universal basic income is bullshit. Work for what you get. Or lower the fucking taxes. Don't take the money and go, hey, elect me and I'll give you this kickback of your own money. It's such, I mean, but that's not the way they explained it to you, is it? It's just, oh, yeah, we should get a UBI, which is really like underwritten basic income. Yeah, raise the minimum wage for basic income. Lower the tax rates on the poor and make the rich pay for it. Don't say, hey, if you vote, it's essentially, I'm going to give you something if you do this for me. It's like a bribery, quite frankly. Okay, so I'm going to vote for you, and then you're going to give us all money back on the... It's so sinister. It really is so fucking sinister. It's one of the most upside-down things I've read in a while. Universal basic income. Where's the money come from? The Treasury. Who fills the Treasury? The people. Why don't you just let the fucking people keep the money in the first place? Because we need to run it through fucking the apparatus of banks so they can take a interest rate and percentage, and they'll hold it for XYZ. I mean, even if they hold it for a day, the interest rate on $2 trillion in 24 hours for that bank has to be billions, right? And that's what they want, instead of not collecting that all and leaving it in your pocket. I really do believe someone's going to have to come through. And if we're too beyond fixing it piecemeal, they're going to have to come through and wreck the joint. And people, a lot of these politicians, their whole thing is, I don't want to lose my fiefdom, my gravy train. And you're going to have to throw a lot of those motherfuckers off the gravy train into the mud in their finery and arrest others of them. And the easy part to people to get rid of are the people you can arrest. They've got rapes and drug deals and all this other shit that they've been covered up because they had a high echelon. Once you lower that echelon and go, no. And they're openly talking about sending Donald Trump to jail like he's going to be. And I told you this on this show 1,000 times. Donald Trump is not going to jail, right? You're not going to have a president who know all these state secrets walking around in general population. You're going to find him guilty, make him stay in his giant mansion. What happens if he doesn't? You're going to put him in general population. You're back to the same fucking problem. He's not going to be convicted of shit. It's all leveraged to get at his kids. And the next Republican president can just charge the Clintons for shit, taking money from foreign leaders to run for president. We all thought that was bad then. Husbands got 50 women accusing them of shit. You know, that Epstein thing is a new thing that nobody's even talking about. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure the next Republican president can make hay with the Democrats. None of them are serious. Not the Republicans, not the Democrats. So when I throw stones, I just don't throw stones at, one person. I'm not hunting one deer. I'm hunting all the deers, right? And I would shoot all of you in the face with my theoretical verbalage, right? I mean, they got there and they just wrote laws and wrote laws and wrote laws that protected them from us. So that's what they done. There's a famous case where a congressman was cheating on his wife, and she hired a private eye congressman, and they arrested the private eye because it is against the law to hire a private eye to go after congressmen because they're so special. Had nothing to do with his job. Had to do with him after work. Why is that illegal? He wasn't at the Pentagon. He was in a hotel room with his fucking secretary or some shit. Why is that illegal? Because I don't want to be caught. I don't want to be found out. That's why that's illegal. You can insider trade. Nancy Pelosi and her husband. There was a story about them last week. Just come on, seriously. I'm tired of all of it. I need a fix, and I don't know what the fix is. So all this started because we were talking about the rise of bullshit jobs. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, all these bullshit jobs like DoorDash, and they're fine if you're a college kid to get from point A to point B, put some weed money in your pocket, put some beer money in your pocket, but they're not career jobs. They don't give you dental, medical. They won't help you buy a house. Well, you can't buy a house anymore anyway, right? Only thing they'll do is keep you, hand them out. Look, we used to call this, black people used to call this welfare wage, right? And the point of welfare wage is to give you just enough money so you're slightly out of poverty and you don't rebel and lose your shit. It's essentially money to buy you off, right? And whenever you get mad, they raise a little more just to keep you on the bottom, just to stop you from, because if you're out on the street, you're plotting against them. This way you're going, well, I got a little, maybe if I can just make a little more, and I get this, and that's what it is. It's poverty wages. It's welfare money. Meanwhile, they're all writing books that no one buys and are all millionaires because they're lawyers, and they cook the books on what they do. Because law is the way you hack a government. The government runs on law. If you know law, everyone in America will be a lawyer, by the way. And one of the more sinister groups I think in America is the ABA, the American Bar Association. They keep bad lawyers around all the time. I mean, you keep letting innocent people out of jail. How do they not withdraw people's license to operate since they are a private club of lawyers, which shouldn't even exist in the first fucking place? They say, if I get a law degree and I don't want to join them, I can't be a lawyer? The fuck out of here. Who gave you that authority? The founders? No, you made it up, just like the IRS, just like the IRA, just like the NRA, National Rifle Association. Just a made up thing. Really is. And then they gave money to politicians and sort of got enshrined in the place like the founders made them. And they're not. They aren't. Like I say all the time, Abraham Lincoln did not go to law school. He was a lawyer because he studied hard at it by himself. The only thing I think you might need to go to school for is all that engineering stuff, putting up buildings, all that math stuff in medicine, dental, medical, open heart surgery, and cutting people open. Yeah. But law degree is you just opening a book and seeing how much you can take in and get it and verifying it through all the history. But by the time they're done, nope, you got to go to law school, $90,000 a year, or whatever the case may be. You got to be part of our special group. It's always a way to keep people out, and you better watch it. So yeah, you have to be woke, quite frankly. What, like us black people have always said, the idea of woke, and you can be woke too if you're not black. The idea of woke is not being taken advantage of by people. So every time I hear people on TV pissing on the word woke, I always leave, especially on YouTube, I always leave a comment about, you don't know what you're talking about, right? Being woke means not being taken, right? Being woke means, 3-Crop Monte is a shell game, quite frankly, and literally a shell game where you're going to lose. It's a con game. So take your kids to the carnival, know that it's all rigged. You're going to lose that money. It's fun for them, but don't try and like money at a casino. Casinos are, the house always wins, right? If there's a tie, the house always wins. No one ever beats the house because once you begin winning, they shut down that table. They, all this stuff. They used to have mobsters beat you up and throw you out without the money you want, accusing you of cheating. So America let all these people do whatever they want. These people do whatever they want, and now the place has no moral code, and people are doing anything for money. And it's gotten so bad that I believe it's upset the system. You can't buy a house, you can't go to college. They've made you all slaves. So congratulations. I like to say you're all the N word now. You let them practice this on people for 300 years, and then let anybody else come in and practice on anybody. Remember, this is your guitar show, but there is other stuff involved in it, right? Got to be a little vulnerable. Like I said, I could be flat fucking wrong about everything I said. If you think I'm an asshole, I'm sorry for that. I hope you would say so in the chat and maybe we could talk about it. But I get why you'd be like, man, that guy's crazy and I'm out. You should not be around things you should not want to be around. And that's it. Be woke. Woke means know who's conning you. I wish people were politically woke, not just black, but then you would know that politician is a piece of shit and he's not doing anything for me. I need this in the Ozarks, or I need this in Montana, or I need this in California. I need the fires to stop in California, right? I need the flooding to stop in Louisiana. I need this is. I mean, where are you guys? Instead, they all running. You should hate that group. You should hate this group. It's all a popularity contest, and it's played in by the media, who always wants you to be for or against this. Very few things that you really need to concern yourself with to get through your day to day. You should not care. Look, we can do this right now. Let's see who is. Your screen time was up 169% last week for an average of 5 hours, 4 minutes a day. That's me streaming, right? Yeah, that's me streaming. It could also be me driving. Let's see what's in the news. Top stories. How to stay safe from COVID. Okay. A story about Germany. Okay. 2 athletes riding Tokyo Olympics got COVID. Okay, that's COVID. I get that. Padres and Astros, there's a shooting. All right, here's the thing. That's a local story if it's anything. It really is. Nationals in Washington, the Padres in Philly. It's a Northeast story, quite frankly. It's a sports story sticking in sports pages, okay? Trading how much how much of a cut to Social Security benefits can you expect based on your age? This 50 years later, the mystery of Jim Morrison. 50 years later, you're talking about Jim Morrison. A whole bunch of CNN editor at the Nationals game with his family describes the scene. Now you get famous people to tell you how they were affected, because famous people running through shit is more important than you regular people running through shit. Right? So if there was you and your family member were walking down the street, and a famous person and his family member were walking down the same street, and a bird flew over and burst into flame for no apparent reason. When the media showed up, the only person they want to talk about is a famous person and how it affected them, right? And where you can send money to soothe their sad and fragile woes. Feeling anxiety. You know what gets rid of anxiety? Exercise. Go walk. No. Get a walking stick and walk a trail. Make a light sweat. And that makes you feel better. You'll see shit that all the pills that they want to make sure that you're on. Watch that. Unlicensed street vendors, right? People trying to sell sunglasses outside of your shop, and you're mad about it. Just, you've told people that money is God and they can, oh boy, I don't know how. It's a lot of comic book news. What is this? Somebody refurbishing the house, Lauren Hutton. Okay, where's my news? NFL ends its racist practice of assuming black players have lower cognitive abilities. The place is full of black people. They should have said something about that. But this is what happens when you're happy to sell out for the cash. You could have made a lot of money, then left and talked about, man, this is wrong. No one ever does, because they're conditioned from boyhood for this shit. and it has nothing to do with educating yourself. And if you're too educated, you won't get there. They'll take the third rate guy. I don't know, man. What you want is the best people for the gig, and that's not what we're getting. We're getting people who are connected, and we're getting them put there by these long-term apparatus, like the sports, like conveyor belt is the conveyor belt as sure as the prison, the high school to prison conveyor belt is a thing. Uh, Women are still getting disrespected, and the word front, I mean, slowed down now since 2019, the Me Too thing, right? And plus, COVID slowed it down a lot too. Nobody wants to be near anybody. But I mean, America has some of these things that need to be done away with, uh, and that's where we're at. So remember, that was your news slash social engagement section of this Learn Guitar podcast slash show slash program. And the whole point is essentially you gotta let some of this go because it will make you crazy. You can see bullshit all over the place when you stare at it. Uh, you should be informed, but you should look at what they tell you and who's selling it to you, uh, and see how credible they are. And you should do something for you. And what's for you is not stressing out, not worrying about Britney Spears. She's not going to do anything for you. Over worrying about something that can do something for you. Music, cooking, dancing, singing, juggling, more time with your kids, less absorbing all this it's just negativity is everywhere. And your way out of it is either to take drugs, pop pills because you had stress issues when you could just go for a walk, right? Or double down on it and hate that person and this person and the Black Lives Matter people and the Antifa people and the this people and the that people, because people on TV tell you who to hate. I've been saying for like the last 3 weeks since that building fell down that people should be arrested. I have yet to hear that on TV. Who fucked up so badly that a building fell on sleeping people at 1:30 in the morning? And why are you not at least bringing them in someplace and asking them some questions? And if that did happen, it would leak and someone will go, oh, they talked to so-and-so at the headquarters of this, that, the other thing. The government of this, not the government, but like the feds or the state or local or, uh, is looking into this. You don't hear any of that. You just hear, oh, they pulled another body out. Oh, tales of survival. Oh, so and so lost her family. Yeah, what about the other part of that story? Who's a bad person in this? It's all pimping you for emotional content, so you can just be like, but never, yeah. Who's responsible for this? It's never that. It's always some sad thing that you should feel bad for, but it's nothing about that you should feel angry at established people for, and that's the mind fuckery, right? We got into this argument with this black guy. He was yelling at me about. I mean, it started off like talking about how the environment's bad and you can't afford anything. And I'm like, yeah, but a lot of cats, you got to throw in together and put your. And we sort of got off the topic, and he just blamed me. And I told him, I ended up, man, I am not the reason you're in the position you're in, right? He's acting like I took from him, I sold him into this, now, like, how you blaming me? And that's how fast people get off topic and are just happy to be superior and point their finger at shit. Stay on like the movie, stay on target, stay on target. People don't stay on target. They can be taken off target with jiggly keys or money or whatever the fuck you got, or they can be taken off target by their own. How dare you treat me like this? I'm the king of England. Fuck you. They'll hang you from the same tree that hang me from. You are not a serious person, and you just fucking proved it. You're out here that having the nerve to talk about these topics when you actually when you haven't really investigated these topics at all. I can't even say thoroughly at all. It is what it is. People are talking, and then they want to be a bully to keep talking. When the people in the society should eventually go, we want the smartest guy for this job. We don't want the biggest mouth for this job, right? And there you have. Who's the smartest guy? Who's got a solution other than blame the women, blame the Hispanics, blame the Mexicans, blame the blacks, blame the Me Too, blame the men, right? all that believe all women shit to stand up the Me Too movement. But like, what, women don't lie? Ridiculous. I had grown ass college educated women taking me on. Like, how dare you say that? And I would just repeat the same thing. You're really arguing with me about believe all women as if women don't lie. I just kept repeating it. You don't understand what it's like to be. Yeah, you don't understand what it's like to be a man. What the fuck does it have to do with anything? That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. And crying that you're a woman, so what? No one cried that they're a man. It's the skin you're put in. Deal with it. It's like crying that you don't know how hard it is to be 6'4". Dude, yeah, the shit you can't change, right? I'm finding out under shit that I can't change. Let's have a conversation about shit that we can work with. You have no idea what it's like to be, you know, whatever, right? You can, I mean, that's just a dead way to go. You can, that's a canard for people in wheelchairs, people who are old, people who are blind, people who are vets. You know, how dare you? I'm a vet, and I had this conversation too. I didn't actually do it. You didn't do it for me. Stop putting the blame on me. What you do it for? For America and nobility, I feel that. I applaud it. But don't show up and go, Because I've seen a lot of those guys that police marches and all this shit, look, just happy to side with the cops like we're an invading army and they can't wait to get guns. Like, no. Now you're threatening me while you tell me how I should revere what you did as you're on the opposite side of a political issue, which is essentially about, do the cops get to murder anybody they want? That is essentially the issue with this police shit. And it's been going on for a while now. So, yeah. It is what it is. Talking about all the nonsense. Like, the Me Too thing is not about what women wear to work. No, it's not about that. It's not about dating at work, although I think that's a problem. It's about sexual aggressiveness and impropriety at work, right? Let's not lose what it's about. And if you're going to talk about sexual improprieties at work, then that's not just the men, right? It's not just the men. So you have to talk about these women who contribute to a shitty work environment. It's not just the men, and nobody wants to have that conversation. You just want to be able to. America loves a lynch mob, right? So we want to be able to cancel somebody. Who's canceling? Who are these anonymous people on the internet? And here's another thing opposite of canceling. Everybody who's against it, you notice, are always stand-up comedians, people who talk for a living, because they'll say something sideways and be gone. So they want to heap. It's the wokeness and I hear Joe Rogan talk about this. I'm like, fuck you. Joe Rogan stood up for who? Roseanne Barr, right? He had that Proud Boy dude on, right? And he stood up for Louis C.K., right? So all these people that he know who are either in his line of work or sort of carry like a philosophy of his, he stands up for. You can't blame him, right? It's what he associates himself with. But if he stood back and was like, man, what am I really saying about these people who've got racial issues, and I keep standing up for all these people with these fucked up racial things, and then I'll say I'm not racist because I know Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, your philosophy is butt. You need to fix your shit. There's a hole in your plot. If this was a movie, there's a plot hole in your element. Oh, hello, Nurse Blondie. I hope you're good. Oh, thank you. Oh, see, I am lucky to be too old to be on TikTok. I wonder what I would even do on TikTok. So, yeah. How long? I think TikTok is. How long is TikTok? TikTok is 25 seconds. How long is TikTok, Blondie? Exactly. Because stupid people can't be controlled. And then they're lucrative. Like, finding stupid people to stick in Hollywood is like finding a gold mine, right? And then every now and then they say something stupid that ends their gold mine run. But they have a ton of handlers, right? So if I was famous, I would have an agent and a manager. I don't know what the difference between the two is, right? I'd have a publicist. Then I'd likely have a personal lawyer. And I'd have yeah, so I mean, an agent to the studio who wants to do business with me. You get all these like people happy to kowtow and bow to you, and I think that lends people to believe that they can do no wrong, and this this thing that I'm in will never end because I live here. And then all of a sudden, people are like, oh man, we can't work with you. I'm sorry, you're a persona non grata. And all of a sudden, people are like, I mean, I'm on TV apologizing for whatever they said, and hopefully that they can get back into the gravy train. It happened with Isaiah Washington, right? Who was on, I want to say, an evening soap show. The brothers at Fort Mayweather. Oh, right. 3 minutes. Oh, just 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. 3 minute video. What could I say in 3 minutes that would be profound on TikTok? And what could I say in 3 minutes regularly on TikTok that would make it interesting? I don't think I could say anything regularly. I am so long-winded. I am the person, if you have to take a long drive and you like chit chatter, you want to take me with you. Some people don't like any talking in the car, only music. I love to chit chatter. Oh, my man Ted. My man T.I. T.E. rather. So, yeah, we have been streaming for 3 hours and a minute. The first 90 minutes, woo, we complained about, yeah, literally the first 90 minutes, we complained about the, what's the word for this? The resolution of the app and why it wouldn't reset. To allow users to publish videos up to 3 minutes. All right. What was it before? This is a new thing. Oh, see, now we got to ban Ted for putting links in the chat. You got a show later today, Ted? I got to tell you, man, I've been falling asleep. Yeah, why do they make stupid people famous? So yeah, so like I said, you want to be woke. Everybody wants to be woke. Nobody wants to and sometimes your woke kicks in. Wokeness is a survival mechanism. Who goes to a party? And I've been to parties like this. Well, I walked into the party and I looked around. And I was like, nope. Everybody there looked dangerous, and I was like, yeah, I'm not staying here. Turned around, and went home. Ooh, who's Elizabeth Eckford? But if you're awake, you are woke. I don't see the difference. I think they're trying to give woke a bad name, essentially. I just went into it for about 20 minutes. But yeah, you don't have to awaken me. I'm already woke. I know what's going on. I don't have to. I'm waking people up with this show that they can play an instrument, they can pick up their discipline, they can move away from some of the things that cause them agita and heart issues, right? And have a good time. So, yeah, we have been streaming for 3 hours. Are we going to do this thing today? This art project and I guess we are, but we said we weren't going to stream much past 3 hours anymore. But we said our Sunday shows are church and they can be as long as we want. Oh, okay. Let's do a quick. Elizabeth Eckford rather. Let's copy this, put this here. Let's go over here and watch everything go to. Let's check this out. All right, so let's put this here. We're gonna share this one more time. Elizabeth Eckford. I fully expect the. Let's give that this and give this that. Ugh, God bless spandex. All right, in her own words, Elizabeth Eckford, Facing History. Elizabeth Ann Eckford is one of the Little Rock Nine. Oh, okay. I know the Little Rock Nine, though. Right. She's still around. I mean, people don't care until you die, right? I mean, there should be flowers at her front door every day. These people are so important to us and no one cares. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. The Little Rock Nine, what a story. That whole era, they were blowing up children in churches. Tell me about God again, please. I think I said a couple of days ago there were no Southern Christians in heaven. I was just throwing rocks at people. Like that history, you tell me. That was just, but sometimes you say stuff that is completely inappropriate. And that was semi completely inappropriate. She was right. Amen to that. Yeah, that woman who later, like 50 years later, we can look up her name. Let's do that. First of all, there's going to be a picture, right? Here she is. This woman, history, the famous Little Rock Nine Scream image. Where's the picture? Here it is. So, Little Rock is a beautiful school. It really is. So, this woman here, open image and tab. Let's do that. Let's make this larger. Where's that? She, who's really made this like, it's look at the. She, let's close this. Alter image view of Elizabeth Eckford on her first day of school in photo taken by Associated Press photographer Hazel Bryan.
Great deals on
what? Can be seen behind in the crowd, right? Hazel Bryan. So let's look up Hazel Bryan. Search Google for Hazel Bryan. Yep, there goes the imagery, but that's fine. We're fine. Hazel Bryan Mastery, born 1941, was a student at Little Rock 9. Yeah, she's got her own YouTube page. Let's get in it. Was a student at Little Rock High School, Central High School during the Civil Rights Movement. She was depicted in an iconic photograph made by photojournalist Will Counts. Wait, the other, wait a minute. It just, okay. Batman, Associated Press, and taken by Associated Press photographer. Oh, it wasn't Hazel. Ugh, good Lord, man. Learn to freaking pause when you read a sentence. All right. Let's 79 years old. They're all around. These people show who you should be talking to all the time, so young race can go, man, maybe that's not the mode. Instead, you ignore it, you get views and all this heat off of racial animus, and then someone dies, you go, he's a hero. She's a, you know. All right. She was then depicting an iconic photograph made by photojournalist Will Count, showed her shouting at Elizabeth Eckford, one of the Little Rock Nine, during school integration. Though referenced as a student at the school by some, she is not listed as a student in the LRCH annual from 57 to 58 school year. She's not even listed in the school. Okay. During the time after Little Rock, Hazel had become increasingly political, branching out into peace activism and social work. Yeah, after, but this is what you're famous for. After the photo became public, Hazel started to receive critical mail, mostly from the North. So I guess that was what tweeting was back then. Hazel remained a bitch as far as I'm concerned. I think after she got all that heat, she was like, I better fix my shit. And she tried to adjust herself. But at least she tried young, right? Maybe. But some people don't ever do it until they're in front of a judge going, I apologize to the family. I didn't know I was being a racist asshat. Please don't send me to jail for 10 years. Like those people who showed up at that little kid's birthday party with their flags, yelling nigger and shotguns, and they were all arrested. And two of the couples went to jail for 10 years. And they were both super mournful and crying and pleading for a second chance and a break. I think the woman was 24 and the guy was 29. We can look that up next. But I was like, dang, you drove by with guns and yelled racial slurs. You should have checked the new race hate law. They never made peace with each other. Yeah. Well, she tried to make peace, but Eckford would like no, because it comes across as self-serving. Only person who benefits from me meeting you is you. You know what I mean? It's like if Hitler was alive and you could sit down him and the Jews and he go, I would like to apologize. That's the Jewish people showing up just are really doing a favor for Hitler. You know what I'm saying? It is exactly. It's super self-serving. It's super self-serving. What do the people who come there get out of this other than to hear you get an apology in front of? Yeah, no. We don't want to integrate. They described her as screaming, just as hysterical, just like one of those Elvis Presley hysterical deals. After the photo became public, Hazel started to receive critical mail, mostly from the North. Author David Merrick wrote that while Hazel only found criticism surprising, Hazel's parents, though, found her sudden notoriety sufficiently alarming to pull her out of school. Yeah, that makes sense. Brian left her new school when she was 17, married Antoine Massey, and began a family. After that, her attitude toward Martin Luther King Jr. and the concept of desegregation changed. Was curious and reflective. One day, she realized her children would learn that Starling girl in history books was their mother. She realized she had an account to settle. Yeah, so this is all because, it's not because, man, I was an asshole to the world, right? It's more like, I don't want to be viewed this way, and this is why it's such a hard. I mean, the come to Jesus moment, it always seems sort of manufactured and constructed. During the time, Little Rock had become increasing political branch out into peace activism and social work. She taught mothering skills to unmarried Black women. Jesus Christ. All right. And took underprivileged Black teenagers on field trips. She frequented Black history section at the local Barnes and Nobles, buying books by Cornel West and Shelby Steele, and the companion volume Eyes on the Prize. All right. Friendship with Elizabeth Eckford. Despite feeling awkward when they first met, Eckford and Brian suddenly became friends afterwards. All right, I'm going to have to dig into who wrote this. They went to flower shops together, bought fabrics together, took mineral baths and massages. Mineral baths appeared in documentaries and before school groups together. Since Elizabeth had never learned to drive, Hazel joked that she would become Elizabeth's chauffeur. Racial jokes. Okay, whenever something costs money, Hazel treated. Whenever something costs money, Hazel treated. It was awkward for Elizabeth, who had a hard time explaining to people just how poor she was. All right, we're into the freaking talk. Who wrote this? Okay, who's got a problem with this? Haley Bryant and Hazel Bryan. External link modified. Hello, fellow Wikipedians. I have just modified one external link to Hazel Master. Please take a moment to review it. See, these used to have critical questions on it, and now they removed that section. Edit section, view history. Edit. Ooh. Wow. I guess because, look, some of these things you can't change. You can't change Dr. King's Wikipedia page because people are fucking pieces of shit. And they're always in there and there's a billion people, right? There's a billion people who may not like them, who will slide into this DMs and write as they're reading it. Like you'll find the N-word peppered throughout. So they make it that you can't reach some people. But this whole thing seems bogus to me. Yeah, all right. Let's look up that thing I just mentioned. Couple gets jail time in racial childbirth. That should do it. You throw in child, you throw in birthday. I should have thrown in truck. Ritual assault at child's birthday party used long prison terms. In Georgia. Yeah. Joe Torres. Why do we Black people have so much problem with Hispanic people? Weeps in his seat. Right? We've seen his seat during his sentencing in Douglas County Courthouse in Douglasville, Georgia. On Monday, Superior Court Judge William McLean sentenced Torres and Kayla Norton to lengthy prison terms Monday for their role in disruption of a black child's birthday party. The kid was like 6. Through accused of Confederate flags, racial slurs, and armed threats. Yeah, a threat's a threat, especially if you have a gun. It's my right to say, fuck you, I'll kill you. No, it's not. And you have a gun on you. No, it's not. It's an actual threat. You have the means to carry out the thing you said you were going to do. Oh, what is this? Brother Shannon wants me to join his broadcast one day to talk about it. What it was like to be part of Detroit race riots, July 20, 1967. I remember every year I told him I would be crying a lot and not sure if I could do it. Crying is okay. Yeah. If you want to do it, that's fine. If you have reservations, I wouldn't let other people's. I think something like that you should do because you want it, right? You may do it and then it's there online forever and then regret it, right? You want to really know what you're in for. Give it a serious think. Give it a serious funk, and but yeah, crying is all right. What's that old song? It's all right to cry. Crying gets the sadness out of you. Remember that song we all learned as a kid? Oh man, I gotta look that up. It's all right to cry. All right. Oh, come on. There you go. It's all right to cry. Okay. We'll look at that later because that song is just the best little kid song that'll make you tear up as a little kid. So how much time did he get? She was 20, Kayla Norton 25, and Jose Torres 26, to spend a combined 19 years in prison for their role in group racist rampage at an 8-year-old birthday party. I'm sorry to what happened until the family that endured the insult. Weeping in the courtroom on Monday sentencing. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think you're so sorry that you're going to jail for 10 years. At the time of the court, she accepted responsibility for acting. Norton turned to the courtroom with the family, blah, 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 blah. And we need to let you all know that this is not me. This is not me. In court Monday, both Norton hunched over after Superior Court Judge William Bone handed down his sentence. 13 years in prison and 7 years probation for Torres. He gets 13 years in prison. That's 20-year sentence. And 6 years in prison with 9 years probation for Norton. So she got off easy. But man, that's 16 years for her and 20 years for him. Both of them are banished from Douglas County. You can banish people from a county? What? In court, both Norton, Torres, the hunched over crying after Superior Court Judge William Clinton Bowe, handed down his sentence. These judges have too much power. I mean, it's a bullshit thing they did, but 20 years. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not crazy about all this probation either. How did she get more probation time than jail time? Because she's a lady? Come on. I thought we fought wars for this. I thought women were just as equal and you did the same shit. But I mean, I get it. She looks like I don't want to go there. It's 6 years in prison, 9 years probation. Both of them are banished from Douglas County. How do you banish somebody? This is America. How do you banish people from a county? The sentence comes weeks after a jury found Torres and Norton guilty of making terroristic threats and violating the Georgia Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. That's the thing, right? That whole thing, you lump up something serious like terrorism with street gangs, so you give a giant harsh sentence to anybody. This is the bullshit that I don't like about the courts, and no one questions it. I've got a lot of fucking questions. I've seen a lot of bullshit by arrogant judges and bullshit prosecutors. I'm not really happy about it. So I'm like, there's nothing I can do about it. And this is why I'm so critical of the ABA, which I did like an hour ago. But this whole thing is bringing it all back. Assault occurred January 15, one after a racist gunman killed 9 people at a work with a Confederate battle flag. Several men, some of whom are now serving prison terms of their own, got out the truck and approached partygoers. Yeah, it looks like they all went to jail for a good bit of time. Did they actually attack anyone or just guilty of being racist? Not condoning the action by any means, but I'm not sure the punishment fits the crime here. Uh, wouldn't conceal 20 years sentence. Does that not? Look, I think that they cook the books on you. Nobody cares about the books being cooked on you until it's you. I mean, you keep seeing, especially black people, right, for the last 40 years, but now in the last 15 to 20, you see a lot of white people that they weren't mentioning who were also sent away for 30 years for shit they didn't do. Right? It's all right to cry. It's all right to cry. That looks like Rosie Greer. It is Rosie Greer. Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't know he wrote that. It's all right to cry. Crying gets the sadness out of you. It's all right to cry. It might make you feel better. Raindrops from your eyes, washing all the mad out of you. Raindrops from your eyes. It's gonna make you feel better. Yeah. So bad. Um, I forgot that song. I got long. Oh, I used to love that song as a kid. Yeah, yeah, outrageous. So, I heard that they weren't friends, and now there's pictures of them here together. It was almost friendship. Okay, so what does this mean? It was almost friendship. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we're going to peruse AF. All right. On September 4, 1957, as I stepped out of we know this tense drama. Come on, man. This is why I hate people's sites. Black student, one student for the 8th round, More than 6 years later, I remember staring at She's telling us about how she had to fix her life. Did not, oh, really? Did not go well. She suffered from depression. Later was died of it. Yeah, I can see why it would bother you. I mean, and that's another thing about racism. It sits on you like a fucking giant elephant, and other people put it there. And it's sad to come by and remind you of it. So yeah, maybe I'm being a little too sensitive to these people. I mean, it's a scourge in America for 300 years. Maybe you should do 20 years. But I still don't get how you do more probation time than fucking jail time. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not for throwing people's lives away. I'm one of these people that if you commit a crime, like let's say I'm drunk driving and I hurt somebody. What's up, information man? Good to see you. I hope all is well with you. Yeah, so let's say I'm driving around, right? I mean, these sentences are too long. And let's say I'm drunk. I'm willfully doing something stupid. And I hurt you. I get that there are circumstances that should give you more time. But if I didn't mean to kill you and I'm just a dumbass and I kill you, even you and like two people, and I should still not get as much time as somebody who set out to kidnap, rape, and murder you. And those are the only ones I'm for. Like, oh, you're plotting to kill your husband for insurance money. You're plotting to kill people for, yeah, done away with you. 50-year sentences, super special bracket. But assholes who make speed and do something, that's a moron being a moron. And maybe 10 years will fix his shit in jail, right? 15 years, but 25 and 30 years for everything. California was giving people 30 years for shoplifting gum because they had felony on it before, and the felony could be anything. It's just a way to warehouse people, and it's always one group. And everybody always fine with that one group, but I tell them they get good at practicing on my group, and then they export it. Why is this thing up here to your group? So you shouldn't so much be so happy for it. Yeah, I can totally see how racism ruined her whole deal. Oh, she's got a statue. See? It's stuff like this I don't think matters. I mean, I'm glad you got a statue, but I want you to actually fix here you are with Clinton. I want you to actually fix the shit. If you had actually fixed the shit, we wouldn't still be talking about Tamir Rice and the children who we don't know who will die tomorrow. It's always window dressing and a speech by somebody. No one actually doubles up on making it fair for everybody. And that's where we should be. All right, so we are going to kill this. Boink. Civil rights. Let's just be civil, like Dave Chappelle said. Right? And the equal rights thing was for women, and then it became ERA. Oh, here we go with this restreamer. I'm gonna do that thing again. Did it work? It worked. It worked. All right. Yeah, I mean, oof. it's crazy. If you do the crime, you should do the time, but the time should be fair, right? And after you do the time, you should get out and go about your business. You shouldn't have to get shit back like you're voting. Like that's, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're out, then it implies that your time is served, so it should be served. I don't understand a lot of this. How you get banned from a neighborhood, but nobody is willing to cruise into some of these southern towns and break up this all boys bullshit. They've always been afraid and scared of. Mind you, the group that we're talking about killed two presidents. They killed Lincoln and they killed Kennedy, right? And they started a war over this shit. Somebody should really just deal with them. Stop being a bitch about it. Excuse my language, and deal with them, right? They got all this pretty stuff from racism. Just take it all away. You want to be ISIS? Make them ISIS. ISIS doesn't have shit and they live in caves. They have American television because they don't invent televisions or radios. They have cars because of the West. They invent nothing, like I said before. And you undercut them with their kids by stuff that you have that their kids want, like a college education, and not have to go to school, not have to go to mosque every single Sunday. And if you're not there for a Sunday or two, an armed group shows up at your house and asks you, you know what I mean? This kind of like goofy weirdness going on in the world. Our heroes don't fix anything, but they do get rich. Being a hero is lucrative, especially when you don't have to do anything about it. So yeah, okay, we've closed all this. We've been up running around. I guess we are not gonna do the the guitar thing today. We are going to, wow, we've been streaming for 3 hours and 25 minutes. It's 10:30. Remember, this counts as church. So you come here, this counts as your mosque, your synagogue, and your cathedral of Christian choice. Unitarian, Baptist, knock yourself out. Catholic, knock yourself out. If you're here for 5 minutes, you're good for the whole week. The money that you would normally have given, buy a homeless guy a cup of coffee, give him $2, it's good for your soul. What can you get for $2? Jack shit. Give him $5, it's good for the soul. And then I'll see you here next Sunday. Remember, tomorrow is the first day where the shows are at 6. We're going to try that for a couple of weeks. 6 p.m. We're going to be doing guitar, social, and political stuff. And we're going to sort of tighten this whole thing up so we're not wasting so much time. We're still going to do a lot of time like this, but it'll be better focus. And trust me, then it'll be easier to follow our guitar practice and look up one day and be a little more knowledgeable about all the things. Remember what I said about friends. There was that poll where people don't have friends, right? Nobody's getting married. People are having one kid, and that one kid doesn't have any cousins or nephews, right? So the idea of being a social animal, which we as humans are, is you have to have friends. You have to have somebody to have a beer with or to talk shit with, right? And we're not talking about dating. We're talking about friends. You can meet people through your friends. And if that person that you're dating, you start as friends, then they're gone, then you don't have any friends, and you also don't have a date, right? My way, you meet friends, you meet their friends, they ensconce you into their cool social network, and then you may meet someone's homie, sister, brother, right? Or you may go, Bob and so-and-so would be perfect together. You may be that kind of goofy energy that happen among friends. But first you need friends. How do you make friends? First, you have to be vulnerable. You don't have to be a raw open nerve, but you have to, like I said earlier, tell people stuff about yourself, not the uncomfortable shit. It's not church. You're not trying to, unburden yourself, but, stuff that you don't tell everybody. Those are the small things that friends share, right? And you share a lot of the stuff that you like together. Me and my homie love video games. We talk a lot about video games. We have a lot of the same politics. We talk about politics together, and they sometimes bump heads. I think with social and economics, because I'm a lot closer to some of it than he is, and some of it I don't get because he's a lot closer to some of that than I am. And that's the way friends are. You're not supposed to be exact cookie cutters of each other. He tells me stuff that illuminates my life, and I tell him stuff that illuminates his life, and that's the way friendships work. Met all his friends, right? I would like to say he met all my friends, but I didn't think I had a lot of friends when I met him. And that's the way friendships work, right? 30 years later, we're still homies. Same thing with Biz, who was in the chat. 40 years later, we're still homies. It's a loyalty thing. You got to be loyalty and respectful of that friendship bond that you make. You just can't say whatever you want to them. They're not an underling like this is some court, right? They're not a gesture. They're your homies, and 90% of the time, it shouldn't be work to be around you, and it shouldn't be work to be around them. And if it's work to be around them, you should find other people. You don't have to be friends with the first person who comes along, right? But you have to be open to the idea. And maybe that dude may not become your very best friend, but maybe he'll be a cool acquaintance you have who will introduce you to other friends, right? So all these things, I mean, making friends is like a spider making web. You have to sort of reach out to places to sort of show up all this. Yes, thank you for coming through, Nurse Blondie. I super duper want to thank you. It has been 3 hours and 30 minutes, and we are wrapping this thing up in like easily the next 5. Yeah, I actually think we're gonna wrap it up in the next 3. And we're not even gonna do it. So I mean, yeah, it is. Making friends is important. You're a social animal. You can do some of that versus getting stressed out about TV and the news. And we spoke about, we had a lot of good stuff we talked about in the chat. Know that you're a consequential being, whether God made you out of clay or whether you are made from cosmic dust. Either way, I don't see how you are not a consequential individual, and you are worth much more and can do much more. And I encourage you to do. And I'm a lazy slob, and I'm doing something. I imagine you turned it on. It'd probably take you less than 1,000 days. But yeah, the idea is to get out there, know that there is love. There are people who view the world the way you view it. There are people who view the world opposite the way you, but you'll still get along with them. I think the idea is a little respect for everybody and a little less animus, and a little more hope. Not other people do shit for you, but you for yourself. I hope that I can learn this talk. I hope I can cook this meal. I've got hope that I can do this tomorrow. And then before you know, things start manifesting differently. Remember, we're shoving this music into our soul. We're watering it with hard work and discipline every day. And one day that seed will sprout and be a tree or a giant redwood of musical talent. And once you have it, it's yours forever. Yours forever. Remember that. Otherwise, you're just watching TV for 10 years, getting good at watching TV for another 10 years. This way, you'll watch this for a year and a half or 2, and you're good at doing what we're doing here. We are going to let you go. Remember, this pod serves as your religious break. It is Sunday service. God bless you. It is spirituality at its finest. And I will see you next Sunday for the same sort of thing. But I will see some of you later today at 4 for the afternoon session. Remember, tomorrow, 7 a.m., and then the session becomes 6 for the next few weeks. We will see you then. Haps, I got love for you, but seriously, your video quality, it can't be sketchy for 20 minutes, 50 minutes. But I found a workaround, so thanks again. I wish all of you well, and I will see you.